Chapter 2023. Then Let's Hope Together. Just as Lin Moyu's thoughts were rising, his soul sent a warning. Without thinking, Lin Moyu teleported 100 meters away, and several flame arrows flew from different directions, piercing through his afterimage. Some of the flame arrows collided and exploded, and the huge impact pushed Lin Moyu back continuously. During his retreat, more flame arrows flew towards him, and Lin Moyu teleported away again. This time, he teleported a distance of 10,000 meters. Boom! The flame arrows collided and exploded again.
Fortunately, this time I was farther away.
Before the thought had even settled, more flame arrows appeared and shot towards him. Lin Moyu could only continue to teleport. No matter where he teleported, the flame arrows would immediately appear. The flame arrows not only tracked him closely, but also appeared in other areas, just like in the previous round, with countless flame arrows scattering aimlessly. In the limited space of the secret realm, Lin Moyu had to pay attention to the scattered flame arrows while also dealing with the flame arrows precisely targeting him. As a result, the difficulty increased several times. The starlight was constantly hit by the aimless flame arrows, being blasted around. Fortunately, it was sturdy enough and did not get damaged. Lin Moyu kept teleporting without stopping, while keeping an eye on the flying starlight.
There must have been divine venerates who encountered danger to obtain this starlight. Danger and opportunity coexist. This starlight is of excellent quality. If given to Senior Qiyuan, he could use it to advance to a high-level divine venerate. With such high value, it's understandable that divine venerates would risk their lives for it.
Lin Moyu controlled his teleportation direction, moving closer to the starlight. He couldn't teleport too far at once because his soul was fully sensing the surroundings, and he wasn't as clear about the situation in the distance. If he teleported too far and got hit by a flame arrow, it would put him at a disadvantage. Lin Moyu could only move closer bit by bit, while the starlight kept changing positions, flying around the secret realm. Lin Moyu had to change direction accordingly. Unknowingly, his control over spatial laws became more precise and detailed. Outside the secret realm, Lu Yuangue sighed deeply.
Lin Moyu is truly talented, far beyond me.
Qi Yuan laughed.
Lin Moyu is a once-in-a-millennium genius, comparable to Xiao Zhanshan. It's normal for us to be inferior.
Lu Yuangue shook his head and smiled bitterly.
You old guy, you sure know how to comfort yourself.
Qi Yuan said.
Of course, after living for thousands of years, how could I not understand this? Lin Moyu has been inside for 76 days. It seems he really has hope.
Lu Yuangue said.
The current record is 84 days. I think Lin Moyu can break this record, but passing through the secret realm is very difficult.
Qi Yuan sighed.
Yes, the later rounds are too difficult.
Lu Yuangue said.
But I still hope Lin Moyu can pass through, so I can be relieved.
Qi Yuan smiled.
Really? If Lin Moyu really passes through, won't you feel any regret?
Lu Yuangue snorted.
Of course, do you think I'm joking?
Qi Yuan laughed heartily.
All right, then let's hope together.
Inside the secret realm, after several days of effort, Lin Moyu finally approached the starlight. The starlight was just blasted away by a flame arrow. Lin Moyu calculated its flight trajectory and teleported to catch it firmly in his hand. What seemed like a simple action was actually the result of countless calculations by Lin Moyu. Over the past few days, he discovered a characteristic of the starlight. As long as it stopped, it would be attacked by flame arrows. When hit, the starlight would be blasted away, and during the approximately 1 second it was flying, it wouldn't be attacked again. By seizing this 1 second, calculating its flight trajectory when it was blasted away, he could catch it. Lin Moyu did just that and succeeded. After putting away the starlight, Lin Moyu could focus on dealing with the flame arrows targeting him. Over the past few days, he had completely adapted to the changes in the flame arrows. Now, each teleportation could control the error within 7 meters, an improvement from before. Moreover, after long-term soul sensing, Lin Moyu found that his soul sensitivity seemed to have improved. This discovery delighted Lin Moyu. His soul sensitivity was already terrifyingly high, unmatched by anyone. He thought it was the limit, but it turned out it could still improve. Improved soul sensitivity was greatly beneficial for both cultivation and rune studies. With joy, the 8th round finally ended. The difficulty of the 8th round was much higher than the 7th. Lin Moyu felt that even if Lu Yuangue entered the 8th round, he wouldn't last a day. Not to mention him, even peak divine venerates, at least half of them, wouldn't last through the 8th round. Lin Moyu thought that without spatial laws, relying solely on speed to dodge, he wouldn't last through the 8th round either. His defense was strong, and the undead army could share the damage. But each arrow in the 8th round was equivalent to a full strength attack from a divine venerate level 8. How many could he withstand? Only spatial laws could allow him to completely avoid the flame arrows in such a small space.
Holy Rune Heavenly Venerate, did you know the secret realm would become like this?
Lin Moyu complained in his heart, but he also understood that obtaining the inheritance from a heavenly venerate couldn't be easy. Normally, if he were a peak divine venerate, it would be much easier to come here.
Perhaps the inheritance left by the Holy Rune Heavenly Venerate here was originally intended for peak divine venerates.
Lin Moyu pondered while observing the secret realm. Next was the 9th round, which no one had ever passed. The highest record was 84 days. Although he didn't know the situation of the 9th round, Lin Moyu was confident in himself. The starlight fell on him, bringing warmth, like bathing in a hot spring, very comfortable. Time passed by the second, and the secret realm gradually darkened. 32 stars began to dim, as if they were about to go out. Lin Moyu glanced at them.
No, it's not that they're going out, but the secret realm is being shrouded in darkness.
He keenly noticed that it wasn't the stars dimming, but the secret realm being covered by a layer of darkness, blocking the starlight. In an instant, the secret realm became extremely dark. Not far away, a glimmer of starlight appeared, a new starlight material. Lin Moyu wasn't in a hurry to get it, knowing it was impossible to obtain it now. Suddenly, his soul jumped, and Lin Moyu instinctively teleported 10,000 meters away. The flame arrows appeared silently, without any warning, different from before. If Lin Moyu hadn't reacted quickly, he would have been hit. With a loud explosion, the flames burst, illuminating the secret realm. The flame arrows collided and exploded, but unlike before, the explosion turned the starry sky into a sea of fire, occupying a large area. Previously, the explosions were just explosions, and after the explosion, there was no sea of fire. But this time, after the explosion, a sea of fire appeared, which seemed unlikely to extinguish anytime soon.
The space to dodge is even smaller now.
Lin Moyu thought as he teleported away again. The spot where he stood was hit by flame arrows again, colliding and exploding, forming a sea of fire. In the dark secret realm, the sea of fire looked somewhat eerie. The flame arrows became unpredictable, and the sea of fire left after the explosions continued to consume space. Lin Moyu immediately realized the difficulty of this round. 2024. Chapter 2024. Will there be a 10th round? The attack power of the flame arrows was astonishing, equivalent to that of a 9th level God Venerable. In the realm of God Venerables, this level of attack was already top tier, only slightly inferior to those powerful peak God Venerables. Even peak God Venerables could not continuously withstand such attacks. Not to mention God Venerables, even those at the Beyond level would be injured if they continuously endured such attacks. Lin Moyu estimated that if he continuously endured the attacks of the flame arrows in a short period, both his purple gold body and the undead army would collapse. The most critical issue was that the difficulty of this round was not just the silent appearance of the flame arrows, but also the sea of fire left behind after the flame arrows exploded. The sea of fire had the same attack power as the flame arrows. If the entire secret realm was eventually occupied by the sea of fire, he wouldn't last long in it. Surviving was not a problem, but his journey in the secret realm would end in failure, and he wouldn't be able to obtain the items left by the holy talisman Heavenly Venerable. If he entered again next time, the trials would change, and this experience might not be useful. Lin Moyu dodged several flame arrows in succession, leaving large areas of sea of fire in the secret realm. In just 2 or 3 seconds, Lin Moyu figured out the key to passing this round. That was control. He needed to control the explosion points of the flame arrows, ensuring that the sea of fire did not occupy the entire secret realm, at least leaving himself some space to stand. The flame arrows appeared silently, making them difficult to dodge, and controlling their explosion points was even harder. Combining the two required not only strong sensory abilities and danger control but also an extremely stable mindset. Of course, all of this was based on strength. Without the corresponding strength, everything was just empty talk.
Each sea of fire has a diameter of about 100 meters. So each time I move, the distance should be around 50 meters. It can be a bit more, but not less, or I'll end up in the sea of fire. The precision requirement seems to be even higher. A distance of 50 meters is still within the impact range of the flame arrow's explosion. I need to stabilize my body and not be affected by the impact. The purple gold body alone is not enough. I also need the bone hell and the golden armor talisman.
Lin Moyu's body emitted a purple gold light as the purple gold body activated, providing a layer of defense. Outside the purple gold body was the bone hell, forming a second layer of defense. Then, the golden armor talisman exploded at Lin Moyu's fingertips, covering him with a layer of golden light, forming the outermost defense. 3 layers of defense were enough to handle the situation. Sensing the appearance of flame arrows, Lin Moyu's body flowed with spatial laws. Following his predetermined target, he took a step and teleported away. His figure appeared 50 meters away, to be precise 53 meters away. Lin Moyu could now control the teleportation error within 5 meters, and 53 meters was within normal performance. Boom! 3 flame arrows flashed past, piercing through the afterimage 53 meters away, then collided and exploded violently. The massive impact swept over, and the golden armor talisman on Lin Moyu's body shone brightly, blocking all the impact. Lin Moyu's body only swayed slightly, completely withstanding the force. Without the golden armor talisman, Lin Moyu would have been pushed back a distance, disrupting his plan. After all, his true realm was only at the 2nd level of God Venerable, and being uninjured under the explosion's impact was already remarkable. The explosion turned into a sea of fire, burning fiercely. Centered on the explosion point, the sea of fire covered a 100-meter range, no more, no less. Lin Moyu was only 3 meters away from the edge of the sea of fire, fully feeling the terrifying high temperature and the faint power of the laws within the sea of fire. The sea of fire was just an external manifestation. Inside, it was actually the laws of starlight, carrying the sublimated power of the starlight rules. From the flames, it seemed as if one could see a sky full of stars, dreamy yet filled with deadly danger. The sea of fire from this explosion overlapped with the previous one, with half of them overlapping. The overlapping sea of fire did not expand its range, still maintaining its 100-meter range. Lin Moyu's thoughts raced.
As I thought, the real difficulty of this round is control. Each time, let the sea of fire's range increase by 50 meters. As long as I control it well, I should be able to get through 10 days. Of course, there can't be any more changes in these 10 days, or it will be difficult.
He quickly calculated in his mind. If each time the sea of fire's range only increased by 50 meters, then with the frequency of the flame arrows, getting through 10 days wouldn't be a problem. Lin Moyu pondered while lifting his foot and leaving again, leaving behind an afterimage. The afterimage was pierced by flame arrows and exploded. Another sea of fire formed, and Lin Moyu appeared 50 meters away. This time, the sea of fire did not connect with the previous one, leaving about a 3-meter gap between them. This was because Lin Moyu's previous teleportation reached 53 meters, exceeding the 50-meter radius of the sea of fire. This time, Lin Moyu teleported 52 meters. After teleporting, he didn't stop but quickly flew 2 meters to make a fine adjustment. He stood at the edge of the sea of fire, less than 10 centimeters away from the flames. Since the precision of teleportation wasn't enough, he made manual adjustments to compensate for the precision. Flame arrows continued to appear, explosions continued, and the sea of fire kept forming. The secret realm was increasingly occupied by the starlight sea of fire, and Lin Moyu maintained his rhythm, constantly teleporting and adjusting. The frequency of the flame arrow's appearance was not consistent, sometimes half a second, sometimes 2 seconds apart. This forced Lin Moyu to always maintain his soul's sensing, never relaxing. The pressure was immense, and under this immense pressure, Lin Moyu's control over spatial laws further increased. Gradually, he needed fewer manual adjustments, and the teleportation error reduced to 3 meters. Lu Yuankue and Qi Yuan could have entered the secret realm days ago, but they tacitly chose not to enter, wanting to see how long Lin Moyu could last. Lu Yuankue said,
"It's the 85th day. A new record has been set."
Qi Yuan chuckled.
"I just checked the Human Emperor network, and it has already updated the new record."
Lu Yuankue sighed.
"Whether Lin Moyu can pass or not, once he leaves the secret realm, the Human Emperor network will surely announce the new record."
Qi Yuan sipped his tea.
"I really hope Lin Moyu can pass the secret realm. It's been a long time since anyone passed the high-level secret realm."
Lu Yuankue shared the same thought.
"It's said that passing a high-level secret realm can bring benefits to our human race. If that's the case, then even better."
Several god venerables were watching the secret realm, waiting to see when Lin Moyu would come out. Time passed day by day, and the 9th round was nearing its end. More than 80% of the secret realm space was occupied by the Sea of Fire. Lin Moyu still maintained his rhythm, not panicking at all, guiding the formation of the Sea of Fire. He used one golden armor talisman after another without any hesitation. These things could be mass-produced, and using them was not as fast as producing them.
Fortunately, there were no new changes in this round. I wonder if there will be a next round. The 9th round corresponds to the 9th level of God Venerable. If there's a 10th round, what would it correspond to? Peak God Venerable? Half step beyond? Let's not think about it, just take it as it comes.
As he pondered, the Sea of Fire suddenly disappeared. The 9th round was safely passed. A blazing starlight came from outside the secret realm, falling on Lin Moyu. In an instant, Lin Moyu's 3 Law Star rivers simultaneously appeared. 2025-2025. Chapter 2025. The 10th round. The Laws of Immortality, Time, and Space. 3 Law Star rivers appeared simultaneously. The Immortality Law Star river was slightly higher in the middle, looking extraordinary, standing above the laws of time and space. As Lin Moyu's innate law, the immortality law always felt no weaker than the laws of time and space. Until the appearance of the Law Star River, which further confirmed his guess. The immortality law was very strong, even stronger than the laws of time and space, as could be seen from its position. At this moment, under the starlight, the 3 Law Star rivers automatically emerged, surprising Lin Moyu.
The power of the starlight rules.
Lin Moyu felt the power of the starlight rules, and the rules of this world were changed. It was because of this that his 3 Law Star rivers emerged. In the starlight, Lin Moyu also saw a Law Star river, hanging like the Milky Way in the distant starry sky outside the secret realm. He had seen this Law Star river several times. It was the Starlight Law Star River.
Did the ancient talisman summon the Starlight Law Star River? What is it trying to do?
Lin Moyu was full of doubts, but he did not feel any danger. The starlight seemed to have no malice. Under the starlight, Lin Moyu felt a connection with the distant Starlight Law Star River. He had an illusion that the Starlight Law Star River outside the secret realm also belonged to his Law Star River. But he had no understanding of the Starlight Law, so why did he have this feeling? As the starlight continued to shine, this feeling grew stronger. It seemed that as long as he had a thought, the Starlight Law Star River would come over and become his possession.
What a strange feeling.
Following his feeling, Lin Moyu tried to summon the Starlight Law Star River. The Starlight Law Star River trembled, and he heard the roar of the Star River.
Unbelievable, it really responded.
Lin Moyu was shocked. He, who had no understanding of the Starlight Law, could actually communicate with the Starlight Law Star River. It was truly incredible. For a moment, various speculations flooded his mind. But no matter how he guessed, Lin Moyu could not determine the correct answer. Inside and outside the secret realm, the 4 Law Star rivers shone together, looking very harmonious. This situation lasted for a full hour. Then the starlight faded, and Lin Moyu's 3 Law Star rivers also disappeared, and the secret realm was once again engulfed in darkness.
What the heck?
Lin Moyu muttered. During the hour of starlight, he seemed to have gained something, but also seemed to have gained nothing. In the darkness, a piece of starlight began to condense. Lin Moyu's soul immediately became alert again, sensing danger. He felt that he was being locked onto.
There really is a 10th round.
On the 91st day of entering the mysterious star secret realm, the 10th round began. As before, Lin Moyu did not rush to obtain the starlight. By now, no matter how high the quality of the starlight, it was no longer the primary goal. His primary goal was to get through this round. He could feel that this round would not be easy. Threads of rule power began to grow in the secret realm. These rule powers were faint but clearly felt by Lin Moyu. The laws in the secret realm were undergoing some peculiar changes, but Lin Moyu could not determine what exactly was changing. The starlight continued to condense, but Lin Moyu's sense of unease grew stronger. He felt that this time the difficulty would far exceed the previous rounds. Suddenly, he frowned and instinctively took a step forward. Space rippled, and Lin Moyu instantly disappeared, reappearing 30 meters away. Boom! An explosion dozens of times stronger than before occurred, and the massive impact hit Lin Moyu. The golden armor talisman flashed but was torn apart in less than a second. Then the purple gold body also collapsed on the spot, and Lin Moyu was uncontrollably blown away. The undead army took a lot of damage, and the army ruler began to heal frantically.
So strong!
Lin Moyu struggled to control his body, feeling a bit terrified. The explosion was so powerful that the golden armor talisman, bone hell, and purple gold body, 3 layers of defense, were torn to pieces like paper. In the end, it was the countless undead that took a lot of damage to get through it. Fortunately, there was only one explosion. If there was another, the undead would collectively collapse. Although there were immortal undead, and the undead could be resurrected, it was still not a good thing. If they were continuously attacked, Lin Moyu's heart tightened. Since entering the secret realm, he finally felt danger. A second later, he sensed the flame arrow again. Without thinking, Lin Moyu immediately moved away. This time he moved farther, not controlling the 50-meter range but directly teleporting 1,000 meters away. In the next second, less than 100 meters away, Lin Moyu appeared somewhat embarrassed. The secret realm was filled with lines of starlight rule power. They were like a big net, blocking Lin Moyu, preventing him from moving away. Boom! Another violent explosion occurred, and Lin Moyu was unsurprisingly blown away. This time, there was no golden armor talisman, and the purple gold body was also weak and shattered again. In the soul world, in the white star of spells, the undead army collectively collapsed and then resurrected under the spell of the immortal undead. After being hit twice in a row, Lin Moyu did not panic but calmly analyzed.
The explosion's attack power exceeds that of a peak god venerable, but is not at the beyond level, equivalent to a half-step beyond. The range of the explosion's sea of fire has expanded from 100 meters to 1,000 meters. Based on the previous round's experience, even using the previous method, it is impossible to safely get through 10 days. The sea of fire is no less dangerous than the explosion. Even I can't last long in it. The secret realm has starlight rule power, which affects my teleportation, greatly reducing the distance and making it impossible to accurately control the distance.
The first teleportation aimed for 50 meters but only moved 30 meters. The second teleportation aimed for 1,000 meters but only moved 100 meters. In other words, the affected distance was not fixed. Lin Moyu summarized several changes in just half a second. Next, he needed to find a way to deal with these changes. The secret realm was not a dead end. It was just a matter of finding a method. 4.3 seconds later, the flame arrow appeared again. Lin Moyu simply teleported 100,000 meters to see if he could avoid it. Space twisted and fluctuated, and he appeared 500 meters away. He still couldn't avoid the explosion of the flame arrow and was blown away again. Lin Moyu stabilized his body while thinking of ways to deal with it. One method after another was thought of and then denied. All the methods used before were useless at this moment. Looking at the 1,000-meter sea of fire, Lin Moyu suddenly realized he had made a mistake. Lin Moyu realized that in the previous 9 rounds, his method was always to dodge. For 90 days, this had formed a habitual way of thinking. But in this round, dodging alone was no longer effective.
The key to this round is not to avoid the sea of fire, but to control it.
Lin Moyu's eyes flashed with brilliance. He knew what he had to do. 2026. Chapter 2026. The Holy Talisman Heavenly Venerable must have intervened. To control the Sea of Fire, one must control its source. The source of the Sea of Fire is the flame arrows. As long as the flame arrows are controlled and prevented from exploding, the Sea of Fire can be eliminated. So how should the flame arrows be controlled? Lin Moyu immediately thought of several methods. Each time the flame arrows appear, there are between 2 to 4 of them. They appear simultaneously and aim at the same place. To be precise, they all aim at Lin Moyu's head. They appear at the same time, are equidistant from each other, and travel at the same speed, ultimately colliding and exploding. Therefore, as long as their speed can be influenced, causing them to arrive at different times, they won't collide and explode. Of course, their accuracy can also be affected, causing them to lose direction. However, that would require a relatively strong force to interfere, which Lin Moyu thought might directly cause the flame arrows to explode. After half a second of thought, Lin Moyu chose the simplest method, influencing the speed of the flame arrows. He still couldn't open the space gate. Otherwise, he could just use the space gate to redirect the flame arrows elsewhere to solve the problem. Since the space laws were useless here, he decided to use the time laws. By using the time laws to change the time flow of the flame arrows, whether speeding them up or slowing them down, he could change their arrival times and prevent them from colliding. Sensing the appearance of the flame arrows, Lin Moyu took the initiative and used the time laws. This time, 3 flame arrows appeared, and Lin Moyu accurately locked onto their positions, using the time laws to affect 2 of them. One flame arrow's time was slowed by 1/10, and another by 1/5. As a result, the time flow of the 3 flame arrows differed by 1/10. After doing all this, Lin Moyu didn't have time to teleport and could only tilt his head to dodge. The 3 flame arrows brushed past Lin Moyu's head by a hair's breadth. Their time flow differed by 1/10, which was already a significant difference given the speed of the flame arrows. The 3 flame arrows did not collide and naturally did not explode. They hit the barrier of the secret realm like streams of light, exploding into a blazing sea of fire. Lin Moyu breathed a sigh of relief.
It really works.
Having finally found the correct method, and it didn't seem difficult, a smile appeared on Lin Moyu's face. Subsequent rounds of flame arrows appeared, all affected by the time laws, and none of them exploded. Lin Moyu leisurely flew towards the starlight, using the time laws and occasionally tilting his head to dodge the flame arrows. He leisurely arrived in front of the starlight and took the high-quality starlight in his hand. It seemed as if Lin Moyu was strolling in a courtyard, feeling at ease. Only Lin Moyu himself knew how precise his operations were under this leisurely appearance. Using the time laws was far from as simple as it seemed. Moreover, using the time laws on others and on oneself had a huge difference. Lin Moyu continuously analyzed the differences between the two while controlling the flame arrows. Slowing down the time flow on oneself was equivalent to having more time. Turning 1 second into 2 seconds allowed for more attacks. When used on others, it truly slowed down their speed. What originally took 1 second to complete now took 2 seconds. For oneself, it was acceleration, while for others, it was deceleration. So when the time laws were applied to the flame arrows, they were slowed down. After analyzing, Lin Moyu confirmed that the reason for this situation was his control over the time laws. If the enemy also controlled the time laws, they wouldn't be affected by them. This was similar to the space laws. Lin Moyu continued to analyze and think about how to respond if such a situation occurred. After confirming that time deceleration was effective, Lin Moyu began to try using time acceleration. In his analysis, time acceleration for himself could speed up his attacks. What originally took 1 second to hit the target might only take half a second with time acceleration. But he wasn't sure what would happen if time acceleration was applied to the target.
Let's try.
With that thought, Lin Moyu began experimenting with the flame arrows. 1 second later, 3 more flame arrows appeared. Lin Moyu used the time laws to speed up the time flow of one flame arrow by 1/10 and another by 1/5. This increase was similar to the time deceleration. After the time laws were applied, the flame arrows shot out like lightning even faster than before. Lin Moyu quickly tilted his head, and the flame arrows whizzed past his head. If he had been a bit slower, the flame arrows would have hit his head, blowing it apart. Lin Moyu let out a self-deprecating laugh.
Almost got my head blown off.
But his eyes still showed excitement, as his idea had been validated. Time acceleration applied to others could indeed speed them up. This meant that time acceleration could be used on allies to enhance their combat power. Boom! With a loud explosion, the flame arrows exploded in the secret realm, creating a sea of fire. Both methods of the time laws could handle this round, but time deceleration was easier. In the following time, Lin Moyu continuously used time deceleration while tilting his head to dodge the flame arrows. The flame arrows hit the barrier of the secret realm from different angles, igniting blazing flames and turning the secret realm into a giant fireball. Having found the solution, the most dangerous 10th round became the easiest one. Towards the end, Lin Moyu even thought about how to solve the situation without using the time laws. There were still methods, such as using special treasures to gently redirect the flame arrows, affecting them and breaking the situation. But the mysterious star secret realm was ever-changing. Even if one entered 100 times, they might not encounter the stellar flame arrows. If they didn't encounter them, all the preparations would be in vain.
In the end, it still depends on strength and adaptability.
Having reached this point in the mysterious star secret realm, Lin Moyu was certain that the secret realm's evolution had been interfered with by the holy talisman Heavenly Venerable. Each round of danger seemed like a test. It was somewhat similar to the tests in the Cloud Mist Mountain, testing the comprehensive strength of the cultivator. Observation, adaptability, and actual combat power were all indispensable. Outside the secret realm, Lu Yuankue and several other god venerables had already stood up. They no longer drank tea, and the chess game was abandoned. All eyes were fixed on the secret realm. It had been 99 days since Lin Moyu entered the secret realm. One more day, and it would be a full 100 days. Qi Yuan suppressed his voice.
Will there be new changes when the secret realm reaches 100 days?
Lu Yuankue said.
It's very possible. 10 rounds in 100 days. I once speculated that the secret realm's perfection is 100 days. But whether it's true or not, I'm not sure. We'll know when we ask Lin Xiaoyu after he comes out.
Qi Yuan's breath became slightly heavier.
All right, then we'll wait for Lin Xiaoyu to come out.
2027. Chapter 2027. What kind of personality has been inherited? 100 days passed, and the 10th round of danger ended. The secret realm returned to peace, and all the seas of fire disappeared like a dream. Immediately, a beam of starlight fell on Lin Moyu. Compared to the previous round, this starlight was denser and more powerful. The starlight was filled with powerful starlight rules, not just laws, but rules. Lin Moyu could clearly distinguish the difference between laws and rules. Above the starlight, a law star river appeared. At the same time, Lin Moyu's 3 law star rivers also reappeared. Lin Moyu found that the starlight not only illuminated himself but also his 3 Law Star rivers. Under the starlight, Lin Moyu felt a closer connection with the Law Star rivers, especially the Starlight Law Star River, a law he had never comprehended before, suddenly became extremely familiar. The Starlight Law Star River flew from afar, entered the secret realm, and came to hover above Lin Moyu's head. Waves surged in the Star River, transforming into a wall of starlight, shining brightly before him. There were 9 conspicuous gaps in the wall of starlight. Looking at the shape of the gaps, Lin Moyu took out the 9 pieces of starlight he had obtained. Each piece of starlight had different qualities and even different shapes. The 9 pieces of starlight perfectly matched the 9 gaps in the wall of starlight. Without any prompting, Lin Moyu knew what to do. He placed the 9 pieces of starlight into the 9 gaps one by one. The wall of starlight became complete and then retracted into the Law Star River. The Law Star River surged, causing the entire secret realm to rumble. The vibrations of the Law Star River also affected Lin Moyu's 3 Law Star rivers, causing them to resonate together. Lin Moyu remained calm, observing the changes. He had seen many strange things and was curious about what changes the Law Star River would bring. His keen soul told him that the changes before him were not harmful. The Starlight Law Star River emitted stronger starlight, forming a large starlight cluster that enveloped Lin Moyu. Then, amidst the rumbling, it flew to Lin Moyu's feet and joined the 3 Law Star rivers, becoming Lin Moyu's 4th Law Star River. Its position was slightly lower than the time and space laws, indicating that it was a second-tier law. As it joined the ranks of the Law Star rivers, Lin Moyu truly felt its presence, realizing that he now possessed a new Law Star River. Even though he had never comprehended it, he truly owned it. This strange change once again exceeded Lin Moyu's understanding. Not to mention, having a new Law Star River meant that his cultivation difficulty would increase again. Second-tier laws, what's the point of cultivating them? He couldn't help but feel a bit amused and helpless. What kind of situation was this? He instinctively wanted to discard it, but then thought it might be a waste. The vibrations of the Starlight Law Star River grew more intense, reaching a peak, and a huge wave surged into a rune that rushed towards Lin Moyu. Lin Moyu did not dodge, sensing that the rune would only benefit him. The rune directly entered his soul and then exploded. In an instant, countless insights about the Starlight Law flooded his mind. It was as if a supreme being who mastered the Starlight Law was explaining all the principles of the Starlight Law to him. This supreme being used the simplest language, so even an idiot could understand most of it. Lin Moyu comprehended it thoroughly without any difficulty. His mastery of the Starlight Law increased at a terrifying speed. 10%, 20%, 30%, 100%. In just half a day, Lin Moyu had fully mastered the Starlight Law. If he were still a God King, he could now use the Starlight Law to advance to God Venerable. When Lin Moyu came back to his senses, his eyes were filled with shock.
What the heck is this? Forced to accept the Starlight Law, and I can't even refuse.
All the information about the Starlight Law was imprinted in his soul, impossible to forget. The main point was that he could choose not to use it, but he couldn't be without it. Lin Moyu looked at the now quiet Starlight Law Star River beneath his feet, his face full of odd expressions.
Is this the reward of the mysterious Star Secret Realm? Who said it was only useful for those who cultivate the Starlight Law? They were all wrong.
Just as Lin Moyu was thinking, the secret realm lit up again. 32 stars once again illuminated the secret realm. In the starlight, a gap appeared in the secret realm, revealing a deep passage behind it. A familiar voice came from the passage.
You have passed the test, come in.
It was the voice of the Holy Talisman, Heavenly Venerable. Lin Moyu's mouth twitched, thinking to himself,
It really is him.
The Holy Talisman, Heavenly Venerable, gave him a strange feeling, with an unpredictable temper. Perhaps all Heavenly Venerables were like this. The illusory mist Heavenly Venerable seemed similar. Lin Moyu flew into the passage, and the scene before him quickly changed. He found himself in a boundless bright space. In this space, tens of thousands of runes floated around. Each rune was filled with starlight, in different colors, making the space look very dreamy. The holy talisman Heavenly Venerable stood in the center of the space, smiling at him. Lin Moyu immediately sensed that the holy talisman Heavenly Venerable was not a projection but a conscious wisp of his soul. The holy talisman Heavenly Venerable had left a wisp of his soul here. Clearly, this wisp of soul was independent. It was the holy talisman Heavenly Venerable, but not entirely him. It only possessed part of the holy talisman Heavenly Venerable's memories and had the same personality. Although Lin Moyu was secretly criticizing him, the other party was still a Heavenly Venerable. Even a wisp of his soul could easily kill him, so he respectfully saluted.
Greetings, Heavenly Venerable.
The holy talisman Heavenly Venerable smiled.
I didn't expect my successor to be so young. Very good indeed.
Lin Moyu remained humble.
Heavenly Venerable flatters me.
The holy talisman Heavenly Venerable snorted.
With my vision, how could I be wrong? If I say you're good, you're good. There's no flattery.
The holy talisman Heavenly Venerable was as arrogant as ever. Lin Moyu didn't argue.
Thank you for the praise, Heavenly Venerable. I am honored.
The holy talisman Heavenly Venerable frowned.
You have great talent, but you lack a certain dominance. Being my successor means you have great fortune, talent, and comprehension. You are a top genius of this era and should stand at the pinnacle of the world, not beneath others. You should have the aura of a ruler.
Lin Moyu felt that this holy talisman Heavenly Venerable was similar to the one he had encountered before, but also somewhat different. He seemed more aggressive, and it was unclear what personality traits were given to him when the holy talisman Heavenly Venerable split his soul. After a lecture, the holy talisman Heavenly Venerable didn't care about Lin Moyu's reaction and waved his hand.
Remember my words, they will only benefit you. Now let me tell you about the inheritance left here. You have obtained the Starlight Law, but you may not know why you could obtain it and how to use it. And you might be wondering if there will be any side effects. I can assure you, there will be no side effects, only benefits. As for why, it's all thanks to my unique rune inheritance method.
2028 Chapter 2028 12 Core Ancient Talismans. The soul of the holy talisman Heavenly Venerable exuded dominance, arrogance, and even a hint of ferocity. It was slightly different from the holy talisman Heavenly Venerable Lin Moyu had encountered before, but upon closer inspection, it seemed to be the same person. The previous holy talisman Heavenly Venerable had a strange temper, as if he was enduring something, while the one before him now seemed to endure nothing and dared to say anything. Indeed, as a Heavenly Venerable, standing at the pinnacle of the world, what was there to fear? He boasted about the rune inheritance method he had created, full of pride and arrogance. Lin Moyu listened with astonishment. This rune inheritance method was indeed an incredibly powerful technique. It could condense a person's understanding of the laws into a rune. As long as the rune was given to someone else, it was equivalent to passing on a lifetime of knowledge. The Starlight Law that Lin Moyu obtained was exactly like this. In ancient times, a supreme being who cultivated the Starlight Law condensed all his lifetime's understanding into a rune at the end of his life. The rune contained all his insights into the Starlight Law, with a mastery level exceeding 100%, thus summoning the Law Star River. After Lin Moyu absorbed it, he comprehended everything about the Starlight Law. For Lin Moyu, the Starlight Law obtained in this way had no drawbacks and was no different from what he would have comprehended on his own. This inheritance method was astonishing, but it was not without flaws. During the condensation of the rune, some inheritance would be lost. The inheritance left by the Supreme Being could only allow someone to reach the peak of the God King level. Achieving the small God Venerable level was not a problem, but whether one could become a God Venerable depended on the individual. The inheritance only included the laws, not the rules. There was a drop of 2 major realms in between, which was somewhat regrettable. Additionally, there was another major flaw. The rune did not copy the understanding but rather stripped it away. Once all the understanding was condensed into a rune, the original person's realm would drop significantly, and the understanding of the laws would completely disappear. According to the Holy Talisman Heavenly Venerable, after creating the Starlight Law Inheritance rune, the Supreme Being fell from the Supreme level to the Beyond level and completely lost the Starlight Law. Even the world of rules he created collapsed as a result. Therefore, the rune inheritance method was only suitable for those facing death with no hope of further breakthroughs. They could use this method to pass on their knowledge to their descendants. Back then, the Starlight Supreme had no relatives. The Holy Talisman Heavenly Venerable had once helped him, so at the end of his life, he agreed to the Starlight Supreme's request. Thus, the Starlight Inheritance rune fell into the hands of the Holy Talisman Heavenly Venerable and eventually reached Lin Moyu. The Holy Talisman Heavenly Venerable explained the usage of the Starlight Law to Lin Moyu. The Starlight Law could not only be used against enemies but, more importantly, it could be used to refine the body, soul, and other laws. With its help, crossing the Law Star River would become easier. Especially when Lin Moyu was about to reach the Beyond level, it would become much easier. Lin Moyu was deeply moved. He realized the terrifying potential of the rune inheritance method. If he could master this technique, it would be of immense benefit to the human race. He had the ability to resurrect the dead, bringing back powerful ancient beings. If he could find the remains of ancient powerful beings, resurrect them, and use this technique to create inheritance runes from their understanding, many lost inheritances of the human race might be restored. This would be of great benefit to the human race. After experiencing ancient wars and continuous turmoil, many inheritances of the human race had been lost.
This is an opportunity. I must learn the rune inheritance method.
Lin Moyu told himself, determined to master the rune inheritance method. After the Holy Talisman Heavenly Venerable finished his lengthy explanation, he laughed heartily.
How about it? Isn't the inheritance method I created amazing?
Lin Moyu nodded.
Indeed, it is amazing. Your talent is astonishing, far beyond my reach.
The Holy Talisman Heavenly Venerable waved his hand.
No need to be so modest. To become my successor, your talent must not be lacking. This method will naturally be passed on to you, but you still need to undergo some tests. Becoming my successor is not easy. The Starlight Inheritance has already been given to you. This is the application method of the Starlight Law from that Supreme Being, along with the location of my next test.
As he spoke, the Holy Talisman Heavenly Venerable waved his hand and threw out a pearl the size of a fingernail, which contained the inheritance of that Supreme Being. Lin Moyu did not immediately look at it, as there was no rush. The Holy Talisman Heavenly Venerable clearly had more to say.
This is that guy's inheritance. Next is the reward I will give you. Listen carefully. The mysterious star secret realm is formed from a mysterious star talisman, one of the 12 core talismans of the ancient talisman warriors. It was severely damaged back then. Of course, such damage is nothing in my eyes. I repaired it after entering. The materials to create this ancient talisman should have been lost. I will pass this talisman to you. In the future, you can use it to create your own talisman puppets. Your talent is decent. If you can obtain all my inheritance, you might one day create ancient talisman warriors like me. Of course, the possibility is very slim. Kid, work hard, and you might have a chance.
Lin Moyu noticed that the figure of the Holy Talisman Heavenly Venerable was gradually fading. His mission was complete, and it was time for this wisp of soul to leave. Lin Moyu's heart tightened, and he suddenly asked,
Senior, do you know how to repair the divine path?
The Holy Talisman Heavenly Venerable's eyes showed confusion. Lin Moyu could tell from his expression that he did not know how to repair the divine path. When the Holy Talisman Heavenly Venerable split his soul, he did not include this part of his memory. The confusion in his eyes grew stronger.
I can't remember how to repair the divine path. It's laughable that there is something in this world that I don't know.
The Holy Talisman Heavenly Venerable disappeared amidst laughter. After he left, the runes in the space began to dance. Tens of thousands of runes spun like butterflies, gathering into clusters and combining with each other. A huge ancient talisman faintly appeared. Lin Moyu knew that each of the tens of thousands of runes represented a change in the mysterious star secret realm. Every time a cultivator entered, one of the runes would be activated, creating a different secret realm. Tens of thousands of runes represented tens of thousands of possibilities. Therefore, the mysterious star secret realm appeared ever-changing and unpredictable to cultivators. These runes originated from an ancient talisman called the Mysterious Star Talisman. This ancient talisman was one of the 12 core talismans of the ancient talisman warriors. Thinking about the words of the holy talisman Heavenly Venerable, Lin Moyu suddenly realized,
Could it be that the holy talisman Heavenly Venerable repaired all 12 core talismans? It must be. Otherwise, he wouldn't have said such things. Perhaps in his eyes, the ancient talisman warriors were his life's work, containing all his efforts. If I can recreate an ancient talisman warrior, it would mean that his methods and path have successors. But because various materials have been lost, the holy talisman Heavenly Venerable didn't want his path to be lost, so he repaired the 12 core talismans. Knowing the holy talisman Heavenly Venerable's personality, there might be some hidden things in the 12 core talismans.
Lin Moyu thought deeply, considering many possibilities. 2029. Chapter 2029. The position of the Holy Venerable should have a place for you. The wisp of the Holy Talisman Heavenly Venerable Soul, which had been preserved for 1,000,000 years, finally completely dissipated. All the runes spun and flew, gathering together to form an incredibly profound ancient talisman. This ancient talisman was the most complex one Lin Moyu had ever seen. Its complexity was second only to the Great World Rune. It was comparable to those runes that represented the source of certain laws. But strangely, looking at this ancient talisman, Lin Moyu did not feel any consumption of his soul, which was different from other ancient talismans. On the Mysterious Star Ancient Talisman, Lin Moyu felt the presence of the Holy Talisman Heavenly Venerable. He realized that it must be the will of the Holy Talisman Heavenly Venerable remaining in the ancient talisman, and the Holy Talisman Heavenly Venerable also acknowledged him as his successor, which is why it was like this. The Mysterious Star Ancient Talisman was an offensive ancient talisman, containing the laws of starlight and some other laws. If it launched an attack, Lin Moyu felt that even those at the beyond level would have a headache dealing with it. After the Mysterious Star Ancient Talisman formed, it slowly flew towards Lin Moyu, shrinking in size until it entered his forehead and entered his soul world. Lin Moyu's soul world welcomed a new guest. Previously, there was already an ancient talisman in his soul world, which had once taken Lin Moyu to see events from ancient times. Now, the Mysterious Star Ancient Talisman appeared next to it, and the two ancient talismans shone together. The form of the rule world was naturally incomparable to a true rule world, whether in strength or breadth. Now, the light of the Mysterious Star Ancient Talisman fell, helping the rule world grow stronger. It was reasonable that the ancient talisman had the ability to evolve secret realms and could help strengthen and perfect the rule world. Lin Moyu speculated,
Is the rule world of the Holy Talisman Heavenly Venerable entirely composed of runes? Can a Heavenly Venerable create living beings in the rule world? And has the Holy Talisman Heavenly Venerable ever created living beings?
The Mysterious Star Ancient Talisman left, and the Mysterious Star Secret Realm also began to collapse. The Secret Realm space melted like snowflakes, and the scene before Lin Moyu's eyes became blurry, rippling like water waves. Then he saw the familiar starry sky.
I'm back.
100-day journey in the Secret Realm had finally ended. Lin Moyu immediately felt the power of the Human Emperor Network, which seemed to be surveying this area to determine what Lin Moyu had done. The changes in the Secret Realm were different from before, and the giant hand of the Human Emperor Network did not appear.
He shouldn't be able to see anything, right?
Lin Moyu thought to himself, believing that the Human Emperor Network should not be able to detect any information. The Human Emperor Network was strong, but compared to a Heavenly Venerable, it was clearly inferior. The methods of the Holy Talisman Heavenly Venerable should be undetectable by the Human Emperor Network. Sure enough, just 2 seconds later, the voice of the Human Emperor Network appeared in Lin Moyu's ear.
Has the secret realm been cleared?
The voice of the Human Emperor Network was as calm as ever, without any emotion. Lin Moyu replied,
Yes, it has been cleared.
After that, the Human Emperor Network fell silent, and Lin Moyu felt that it had already left. Obviously, the Human Emperor Network believed Lin Moyu, just as Lin Moyu never doubted the fairness of the Human Emperor Network, and the Human Emperor Network never doubted Lin Moyu. This mutual trust felt very good. Lin Moyu saw Lu Yuankue and others looking at him from a distance. He immediately flew over and cupped his hands in salute.
Greetings, seniors.
Although Lu Yuankue had already guessed the answer, he couldn't help but ask.
Lin Xiaoyu, did you really clear it?
Lin Moyu nodded slightly.
I was lucky and barely managed to clear it.
Lucky? What does he mean by lucky? Lu Yuankue and the others couldn't help but twitch their mouths. Did that mean their luck was terrible? Qi Yuan asked.
Lin Xiaoyu, what kind of trials did you encounter after entering?
Lin Moyu replied.
First, there were flame meteors, and later there were stellar rockets.
Qi Yuan thought for a moment.
Stellar rockets? I don't think I've encountered those.
Lu Yuankue said.
I have encountered them before. The difficulty of stellar rockets should be medium to high, but I don't know about the subsequent trials. Tell us in detail. Let's discuss it over tea. Lin Xiaoyu, please tell us in detail, especially about the trials in the last 30 days.
Several god venerables pulled Lin Moyu to sit down. Surrounding him, and Qi Yuan personally brewed tea. Lin Moyu slowly recounted the rounds of trials in the secret realm. The last 2 rounds of stellar rockets were indeed quite difficult. Everyone present frowned and fell into deep thought after hearing it. They were pondering whether they could pass if they were in his place. The result was disappointing. They found that if they were in his place, the possibility of passing was 0. Let alone passing, even lasting until the 60th day would be a big problem. Lu Yuankue felt a bit better. He thought he might be able to last until the 70th day, but after the 70th day, he might not last a day in the 8th round. But Lin Moyu did it, passing the secret realm in a miraculous manner. They were sensible enough not to ask Lin Moyu about his method of passing. This matter concerned Lin Moyu's privacy, and they naturally wouldn't pry. Lu Yuankue said,
Lin Xiaoyu's strength is admirable.
Lin Moyu humbly replied,
I still have much to learn from you, seniors.
Lu Yuankue smiled.
We have just lived longer. In this world, strength is everything, and many things become clear with age. Lin Xiaoyu has a bright future ahead. I believe the position of the Holy Venerable should have a place for you.
They chatted for a while longer, and after drinking the tea offered by the god venerables, Lin Moyu left. On the way, he received a message from the Human Emperor Network, hoping he could provide information about clearing the mysterious star secret realm. Lin Moyu had already planned to provide it. Whether it was for the Human Emperor Network or the Secret Realm Strategy Group, he would share the information. Of course, he wouldn't disclose unnecessary details. Lin Moyu sat in his battleship, re-entered deep space, and flew towards the 3rd location. At the same time, he took out the pearl given by the Holy Talisman Heavenly Venerable. The pearl was about the size of a fist, bright and shiny, glowing in the dim starry sky. Lin Moyu found that the texture of the pearl was identical to the highest inheritance pearl of the Cloud Mist sect.
In ancient times, people seemed to prefer using pearls.
Nowadays, cultivators generally use various precious jades to make jade talismans, jade plaques, jewelry, etc. Communicating with the pearl through his soul, a large amount of information was transmitted. Lin Moyu had experienced receiving heavenly venerable inheritances several times, so this supreme inheritance did not affect him much. Moreover, these inheritances were clearly filtered, containing only the most important information, without any miscellaneous details. Lin Moyu accepted, organized, and studied the information simultaneously. Gradually, he began to understand the various uses of the Starlight Lost Star River. In the world of the Human Emperor Network, an announcement suddenly appeared. Everyone connected to the Human Emperor Network in the Divine City Star region saw the announcement simultaneously.
Divine City announcement. Intermediate personnel Lin Moyu has successfully cleared the High 10656 star system mysterious star secret realm. This secret realm will be permanently closed, and related tasks will be cancelled.
As soon as the announcement was made, the Divine City was in an uproar again. 2030. Chapter 2030. Are you doing this on purpose? In the Divine City, countless people were in an uproar. Just over 100 days after clearing the last secret realm, Lin Moyu had cleared another secret realm. Moreover, this time it was a high-level secret realm. The difficulty of high-level secret realms is well known. Currently, in the Divine City Star region, there are 281 known high-level secret realms, and in the tens of thousands of years since the establishment of the Human Emperor Network, only one has been cleared. Now, Lin Moyu has cleared another secret realm, naturally causing a sensation throughout the entire human race. This announcement spread throughout the entire Divine City in just half an hour. In the Human Emperor Network, countless people were discussing Lin Moyu.
Lin Moyu, I can't even evaluate him anymore. I can only say that in terms of clearing secret realms, no one can compare to him. It seems like there's no secret realm he can't clear. No matter the difficulty, he can get through it. He's truly amazing. I thought it was already incredible that he cleared a mid-level secret realm, but I didn't expect even high-level secret realms couldn't stop him. Strange, Lin Moyu is just an intermediate personnel. How did he get into a high-level secret realm? There's nothing strange about it. For a top genius like Lin Moyu, it's normal to give him special privileges. Exactly, there have been geniuses who received special permissions before. If others can get it, Lin Moyu can naturally get it too.
The Human Emperor Network is very fair, but fairness doesn't mean everyone gets the exact same treatment. The fairness of the Human Emperor Network means giving ordinary people the same treatment and giving special treatment to some special people. These special people are not those with special status or position, but those with special talent and strength. For example, holy venerables and beyond-level powerhouses, or geniuses like Lin Moyu. They will more or less receive special privileges. After all, the purpose of the Human Emperor Network is to cultivate human geniuses, so various rules will favor geniuses. There are a few dissenting voices, but they are not important, and their voices are never heard by others. The Human Emperor Network was bustling with discussions about Lin Moyu. Sitting in his battleship, Lin Moyu also received a reminder from the Human Emperor Network. Congratulations on completing the first stage task of the Mysterious Star Secret Realm. Reward: 1,000 Divine City Merit Points. Congratulations on clearing the Mysterious Star Secret Realm. Reward: 50,000 Divine City Merit Points. Lin Moyu was stunned after receiving the rewards. He didn't expect the rewards for a high-level secret realm to be so generous. The basic task reward was 1,000 Divine City Merit Points, and the clearing reward was directly 50,000 Divine City Merit Points. He obtained 51,000 Divine City Merit Points from one secret realm, which is an amount many people can't earn in a lifetime. He muttered to himself,
Doesn't this mean my merit points exceed 100,000, and I am now eligible to be promoted to high-level personnel? Should I go and do the promotion task?
To be promoted to high-level personnel, in addition to having over 100,000 Divine City Merit Points, one must also complete a promotion task. But now he had other things to do, so he decided to postpone the promotion task. Just as Lin Moyu was about to continue studying the law inheritance, the Human Emperor Network's prompt came again. After detection, you meet the promotion conditions, and the promotion task is exempted. Your permissions have been upgraded. Congratulations on obtaining high-level permissions in the Divine City. We hope you will continue to strive for higher permissions. High-level permissions are not the end. There is also a top-level permission. To obtain top-level permission, there is only one requirement: reaching the beyond level. Even if you have never entered the Divine City, as long as you reach the Beyond level, you can obtain top-level permission. This is the fairness of the Human Emperor Network towards the strong. There was once a god venerable who had never entered the Divine City and had been traveling outside. When he returned, he was already a peak god venerable and then smoothly stepped into the Beyond level, obtaining top-level permission. Then he entered the Divine City and brought his entire family into the high-level area. Lin Moyu's mouth twitched.
So I'm high level now.
Although it was a surprise, Lin Moyu remained calm. After all, high-level status was not very significant to him. He originally had special permission from the Human Emperor Network to move freely within the Divine City Star region. Except for not being able to create a family, most situations were no different from high-level personnel. Lin Moyu was about to focus on studying the inheritance again when the Human Emperor Network's prompt sounded again.
Is it never ending?
Lin Moyu was speechless. Why couldn't they come all at once instead of interrupting him repeatedly? Congratulations on becoming a 9th-level member of the Secret Realm Strategy Group. All information in the Secret Realm Strategy Group is now open to you. All special items in the Secret Realm Strategy Group can be borrowed at will. For specific information, please visit the Secret Realm Strategy Group space. Lin Moyu was slightly surprised. He didn't expect to jump from a 3rd-level member to the highest 9th-level member. But it made sense. He had just submitted the information on clearing the mysterious Star Secret Realm to the Secret Realm Strategy Group. Plus, the Human Emperor Network's announcement declared to the world that he had cleared a high-level secret realm. In the history of the human race, only 2 people have cleared high-level secret realms, and he was one of them. If this didn't qualify him for 9th level, then who could?
There's always an exception to everything. Not everything follows the rules.
Lin Moyu muttered to himself. This is how the world works, and he didn't find it strange. After waiting for a while, Lin Moyu felt that no one would disturb him again and once again calmed his mind to continue studying the inheritance of the Starlight Supreme. Just as his consciousness entered his soul, a familiar voice sounded in his ear. Congratulations! 100 star systems have been allocated to you. The Faith Towers are being set up, and the corresponding personnel will be transferred in time. You will be the manager of these 100 star systems. You can visit your territory when you have free time. Before you make your own arrangements, I will manage them on your behalf. Lin Moyu was once again interrupted from his inheritance comprehension, feeling both angry and amused.
Are you doing this on purpose?
Every time he was about to cultivate, the Human Emperor Network would come. It happened several times in a row. If it wasn't intentional, no one would believe it. However, after receiving the information from the Human Emperor Network, Lin Moyu couldn't stay angry. The human race had allocated 100 star systems for him to manage. This was a significant gesture. As far as he knew, even the families of peak god venerables only managed 1 star system. Some stronger ones might manage a few star systems, usually 3 to 5. After all, there were quite a few peak god venerables in the high-level area of the Divine City. A family with a peak god venerable could only be considered a large family, not truly top tier. Only families with beyond-level ancestors could be considered top tier. They often managed dozens of star systems, but only a few holy venerables managed over 100 star systems.
What a grand gesture. The Holy Venerables really think highly of me. These 100 star systems must have been obtained after exterminating the 3 clans.
Lin Moyu roughly guessed the origin of the 100 star systems. Most star systems in the human race already had owners. The origin of these 100 star systems was self-evident. Lin Moyu didn't care much about the 100 star systems. He had no intention of establishing a family and didn't lack resources. But the Faith Towers in the 100 star systems were very useful to him. Once the Faith Towers were set up, the amount of faith power he could receive daily would increase significantly. This was a great thing for him. The more faith power, the better. Although he currently had plenty of faith power, the more, the better. As his realm increased and his spells became stronger, the consumption of faith power would only increase. A few million was just the baseline. When it came to actual use, even billions might not be enough. 2031. Chapter 2031. The plea for help from Chu Xiong and Zhuang Bai. Lin Moyu was very satisfied with the rewards he received. He once again experienced the fairness of the human race. With effort comes reward. The more you contribute, the greater the reward. Most of the time, you don't even need to ask for it. The Human Emperor Network will arrange everything. Lin Moyu knew he had done a lot for the human race, whether it was killing aliens, proposing various strategic suggestions, or clearing secret realms. Essentially, all of these were contributions to the human race. Each contribution was recorded and accumulated by the Human Emperor Network, which eventually provided corresponding rewards.
I wonder how much faith power 100 star systems can provide me daily. It's worth looking forward to.
With a smile, Lin Moyu once again calmed his mind and continued to comprehend the inheritance. 2 seconds later, the voice of the Human Emperor Network sounded again. Congratulations on becoming the honorary president of the Talisman Masters Association. You will have the same permissions as the president. For detailed information, please visit the Talisman Masters Association. His comprehension was interrupted again, and Lin Moyu angrily said,
You must be doing this on purpose.
The Human Emperor Network did not respond, acting as if it knew nothing. Lin Moyu knew the Human Emperor Network was doing this on purpose, and he also knew that the Human Emperor Network knew he knew. But the Human Emperor Network still did it like an old man playing a prank. Lin Moyu was so angry that his teeth itched, but there was nothing he could do. After all, the Human Emperor Network brought good news.
I actually became the honorary president of the Talisman Masters Association. What does this mean? It's probably just a title without much real power, but having the same permissions as the president is quite good. I can freely access all the information in the Talisman Masters Association, but unfortunately, this information is not very useful anymore.
After obtaining the inheritance of the Holy Talisman Heavenly Venerable, the information in the Talisman Masters Association had greatly diminished in value. Everything the Talisman Masters Association had, he had. What he had, the Talisman Masters Association might not have. Lin Moyu guessed that the runes he passed on to the Holy Talisman Heavenly Venerable were likely spread by the Holy Talisman Heavenly Venerable. So, the Holy Talisman Heavenly Venerable rightfully gave him the title of Honorary President. Lin Moyu knew what kind of people those Talisman Masters were. They had an extreme passion for runes and didn't care much about power. Most Talisman Masters pursued the path of runes. If the Holy Talisman Heavenly Venerable passed on those runes and used Lin Moyu's name, coupled with the previous favor of teaching, no one would oppose Lin Moyu becoming the honorary president.
All right, I'll be the president then. It seems I'll have to give them lectures in the future.
Lin Moyu accepted it calmly and prepared to continue comprehending. Just 3 seconds later, the voice of the Human Emperor Network sounded again. Lin Moyu's eyes instantly opened.
I knew you would do this.
With the previous experiences, Lin Moyu pretended to cultivate this time, actually just closing his eyes for a moment. Sure enough, the Human Emperor Network came again. Chu Xiong and Zhuang Bai have sent a plea for help. Hearing this, Lin Moyu's spirit was immediately lifted, and he discarded all previous thoughts.
What's wrong with them?
Lin Moyu entered the Human Emperor Network to check the message from Chu Xiong. The message was sent 10 seconds ago and had just arrived. After reading it, Lin Moyu muttered to himself.
A spatial rift suddenly appeared in the outer region, and Shui Jilian and Qing Fei were sucked in.
Lin Moyu immediately checked the information on spatial rifts. A spatial rift is a special passage that often connects to another space. A spatial rift is a one-way passage. Driven by spatial power, those who enter can only move forward until they reach the exit. This appearance has no fixed location and no pattern. Before entering, no one knows where it will lead. It could be the territory of another race, it could be outside the domain, or it could be inside a secret realm. Usually, in the starry sky, the frequency of spatial rifts appearing is not high, and even if they do appear, they don't last long. In the human race's territory, Every appearance of a spatial rift is recorded by the Human Emperor Network. After checking, Lin Moyu found that the frequency of spatial rifts appearing had significantly increased in the past 100 years. With his current understanding of spatial laws, Lin Moyu judged that this was not a good sign. The appearance of spatial rifts is due to the disruption of spatial laws in a certain area, causing two originally unconnected areas to suddenly connect, forming a spatial rift. In essence, it's like a naturally occurring spatial gate. The increased frequency of spatial rifts means that the space of the Great World is becoming unstable. The power of the Great World is rapidly weakening, and if this continues, the probability of spatial rifts appearing will further increase. If a spatial rift happens to appear on a planet, that planet could be sucked in, which would be a catastrophe for the beings on that planet. This spatial rift in the outer region appeared 2 days ago. The location of the spatial rift was just outside a secret realm. Many cultivators who had just come out of the secret realm were sucked in, including Shui Jilian and Qing Fei. Lin Moyu used his permissions to check the detailed information in the Human Emperor Network. Shui Jilian was the first to be sucked in 26 hours ago. Qing Fei was slightly later 25 hours ago, with a 1-hour difference between them. Now this star region has been sealed off, and no one can approach. Chu Xiong and Zhuang Bai had no choice but to ask Lin Moyu for help. They didn't know if Lin Moyu could help, but in the Divine City, they couldn't think of anyone else. Lin Moyu sent them a message, saying he would go there immediately and told them not to worry. The battleship adjusted its direction slightly in deep space and headed there at the fastest speed. Coincidentally, the inheritance point of the Holy Talisman Heavenly Venerable was also in the outer region, and Lin Moyu was already flying in that direction, so the distance wasn't far. Otherwise, it would have taken much more time. Chu Xiong received Lin Moyu's reply and immediately said,
Brother Lin has replied.
Zhuang Bai, who was watching the starry sky from a distance, asked,
What did Brother Lin say?
Chu Xiong replied,
Brother Lin said he is coming over. Did he say anything else? No.
Zhuang Bai frowned, pondering the meaning of this.
Since Brother Lin said so, it means he has a way. We have no other options now, so we can only wait.
Chu Xiong nodded.
We can only wait.
In the starry sky near them, there were many people. All eyes were focused on one place. Millions of kilometers away, 10 battleships floated, and a team blocked the starry sky. This team was from the War God Hall, and they didn't allow anyone to approach the spatial rift. No one knew what was behind the spatial rift. Even the people from the War God Hall didn't know. Just half a day ago, people from the War God Hall had entered the spatial rift, and there was no news yet. Everyone present could only wait anxiously, as they all had relatives and friends who were sucked into the spatial rift. Millions of kilometers away, a battleship suddenly appeared. Then Lin Moyu flew out of the battleship, his figure flickering in the starry sky, approaching the spatial rift at an astonishing speed. 2032. Chapter 2032. Spatial Rift, Another World. Lin Moyu's sudden appearance attracted the attention of many people. The people from the War God Hall collectively locked onto Lin Moyu. Here, anyone who dared to force their way in would definitely be severely punished.
Who is that? So fast. Heavens, he's heading towards the spatial rift. Isn't he afraid of the War God Hall? Maybe he's from the War God Hall. Impossible. Didn't you see the people from the War God Hall already in a state of alert?
Chu Xiong and Zhuang Bai also saw Lin Moyu rushing over. Zhuang Bai's eyes lit up.
Brother Lin really came, and so fast.
Chu Xiong nodded.
This speed is faster than any god venerable I've ever seen.
The two exchanged a glance as if seeing hope. Lin Moyu's sudden appearance, just by showing his astonishing speed, was enough to amaze them. For some reason, seeing Lin Moyu made them feel that Shui Jilian and Qing Fei could be saved. No matter what was on the other side of the spatial rift, as long as they were still alive, Lin Moyu could bring them back. Lin Moyu's every step covered over 30 million kilometers. He could traverse billions of kilometers in just a few seconds. The people from the War God Hall were all on high alert. Their battleships formed a unified formation, raising a barrier. A high-ranking god venerable from the War God Hall flew out, standing within the barrier and looking at Lin Moyu. Upon seeing Lin Moyu, he frowned.
It's him.
This high-ranking god venerable had seen Lin Moyu before. During the operation to exterminate the Buddha clan, he had seen Lin Moyu chatting and laughing with several beyond-level holy venerables. Lin Moyu's voice echoed in the starry sky.
I have authorization to enter.
As Lin Moyu spoke, the high-ranking god venerable simultaneously received information from the Human Emperor Network. His expression changed slightly. Lin Moyu indeed had authorization, and the authorizer was the War Holy Venerable. He immediately withdrew the barrier, making way for Lin Moyu. Since the War Holy Venerable had already agreed to let Lin Moyu in, who was he to stop him? Lin Moyu passed through the barrier without looking back and rushed into the spatial rift. It wasn't until he disappeared that his voice echoed in the starry sky.
Thank you.
Lin Moyu's thanks made the high-ranking god venerable feel honored. Regardless of Lin Moyu's strength, his status was extraordinary. Anyone valued by the War Holy Venerable couldn't be ordinary. Such a person was destined to become a significant figure. Even if one couldn't form a connection, they shouldn't offend him. Millions of kilometers away, a group of people watched Lin Moyu enter.
He really went in. Who is he? Did anyone catch his information? No, he was too fast, and the distance was too far to see clearly. He said he had authorization. It seems his status isn't low. He went into the spatial rift without looking back. Does he have friends in there too? If that's the case, it's not a bad thing.
Everyone present was a god king, with the strongest being small god venerables like Chu Xiong and Zhuang Bai. The distance was too far to see Lin Moyu's information clearly. However, given Lin Moyu's speed, they assumed his strength couldn't be weak. In fact, Chu Xiong and Zhuang Bai didn't know Lin Moyu's true strength either. They only knew he was very strong but weren't sure how strong. But they had an inexplicable trust in Lin Moyu. As long as Lin Moyu took action, there was almost nothing he couldn't solve. Inside the spatial rift, Lin Moyu felt the chaotic spatial laws. Spatial power surged from all directions, pushing him forward. His spatial laws were suppressed, making it impossible to use them, and he could only move forward with the spatial power. He simultaneously pondered all the information he had obtained earlier. Currently, it was certain that this spatial rift connected to a very distant place. The exit was already beyond the human star region. It could still be within the domain, or it could be outside the domain. The team from the War God Hall that entered earlier had already lost contact. Because of this, the Human Emperor Network analyzed that they should have left the human star region. However, Lin Moyu thought there was another possibility.
It could also be another world or the depths of a secret realm.
In ancient times, the worlds conquered by the human race were not entirely annexed after merging with the Great World. Some parts were left for those races to survive. For example, the former Tulu world and Soul Spirit world were like this. Such worlds couldn't be probed by the Human Emperor Network. Entering them was no different from leaving the human star region. There were also the depths of secret realms, such as the second or even third stages of certain secret realms. Those were also independent spaces, not under the jurisdiction of the Human Emperor Network. Specifically, one had to see it with their own eyes to know. After traveling in the spatial rift for about an hour, Lin Moyu finally saw the exit. The view ahead grew brighter, and then a burst of light shone, and Lin Moyu found himself in an unfamiliar starry sky. It was very bright here, with many stars illuminating the originally dark starry sky. The temperature here was also very high, with the heat from the stars spreading wantonly in the starry sky.
Where is this?
Lin Moyu surveyed the surroundings, first ruling out the possibility of a secret realm. There was no trace of runes here, making it a completely different world from a secret realm. This made him breathe a sigh of relief. If it were the depths of a secret realm, the danger would increase significantly. Secret realms were uncontrollable, with many unexpected dangers. especially those intermediate and higher-level secret realms, where even god kings could die in minutes. In his line of sight, there were thousands of stars. The nearest star was only a few million kilometers away, almost right in front of him. Lin Moyu found himself in a peculiar star system. This star system had 6 stars and 3 ordinary planets. The 3 ordinary planets were almost melting under the intense heat of the stars, their surfaces turning into lava worlds. Such a peculiar star system wouldn't naturally exist in the Great World. It had to be artificially arranged.
No race in the Great World needs so many stars. And this world seems somewhat incomplete. Could it really be the remnants of an ancient world?
Lin Moyu pondered, his gaze suddenly locking onto the distance. He saw a star in the distance, flashing white light and continuously emitting rays. Some rays passed just a few thousand meters away from him, piercing through the starry sky and flying into the distance. Lin Moyu's soul warned him that those rays were dangerous.
I hope they didn't go there.
Countless skeleton generals flew in all directions. Finding people was Lin Moyu's specialty. He didn't need much judgment. He could make up for it with numbers. The skeleton generals used their undead vision to find people, directly seeing soul flames without any mistakes. Lin Moyu continued to observe this world while recalling his memories, trying to find information about this world.
A race that needs so many stars should be related to fire. There are many fire-related worlds, but not all of them need so many stars.
Gradually, Lin Moyu found some information in his memory. In some fragmented information, he had once seen a race like this, the Starfire race. 2033. Chapter 2033. Starfire race. Sorry. Lin Moyu couldn't remember where he had seen information about this race. At that time, he had read a lot of materials, both useful and useless. In a brief mention, he had come across such a race. The description of the Starfire race was just one sentence.
As long as the stars do not extinguish, the starfire will endure.
This indicated that the Starfire race was not easily exterminated. During the ancient wars, many races betrayed their allies. Many of the current races were traitors from back then. The Starfire race was not among them, indicating that they were wiped out during the ancient wars. However, the Starfire race's motto,
As long as the stars do not extinguish, the starfire will endure,
clearly showed that they were not easily exterminated. In this world, the number of stars far exceeded the number of planets, making it much larger than the Tulu world and the Soul Spirit world he had seen before. This indicated that the Starfire race was not weak and should have been stronger than the Tulu and Soul Spirit races. But this was based on Lin Moyu's guess that this was indeed the world of the Starfire race.
I don't know if my guess is correct.
The skeleton generals had already spread out, exploring this star-filled world. After some thought, Lin Moyu also took action. He continuously teleported through the starry sky, advancing at a speed of 30 million kilometers per second. His target was the star that continuously emitted rays. This star was peculiar, different from other stars. When he was 200 million kilometers away from it, Lin Moyu stopped. At this distance, he could roughly see the appearance of the star. It was also a star. It burned brightly, but the light it emitted was white. It looked exactly like his spell, the White Star. Such stars also existed in the Great World and were called white dwarfs, an upgraded version of stars. They had higher temperatures and stronger power, with heat high enough to burn a god king to death. Moreover, white dwarfs had terrifying pressure, capable of crushing a god king to pieces if they got too close. White dwarfs were also called white stars by the human race and were known as the white death god in some races. The star before him had the same color as a white star. It rotated at an astonishing speed, reaching tens of thousands of revolutions per second, continuously emitting rays. The rays shot towards distant places, reaching tens of billions of kilometers. However, Lin Moyu could feel that the most powerful segment of the rays was within 200 million kilometers. As the distance increased, the power of the rays rapidly decreased.
What kind of star is this? Why have I never seen it in the Great World, and there is no information about it?
Lin Moyu was very curious. After observing for a while, he decided to get closer. At this moment, a white ray shot towards him. The speed of the ray was faster than the speed of light, with powerful force faintly tearing through space. Lin Moyu had sensed it long ago, and with his speed, avoiding it was simple. But Lin Moyu didn't want to avoid it. He wanted to personally feel the power of the ray. A warning came from his soul, indicating that the ray was quite powerful. The purple gold body automatically activated. Lin Moyu did not use the bone hell or the golden armor talisman. The ray finally appeared in his sight, now very close. The purple gold body burst into brilliant purple light and then shattered with a bang. The undead were simultaneously injured, and the army ruler began to busy itself again. The entire process lasted only 1/10 of a second, and the ray had already passed.
The power is great, equivalent to a high-level God Venerable strike. The purple gold body alone can't block it.
The defense of the purple gold body was roughly at the 5th level of a God Venerable. Lin Moyu began to approach the white star, taking a step forward and leaping 30 million kilometers. Another ray swept over, and the bone hell automatically appeared. The bone hell surrounded Lin Moyu, blocking the ray's attack. Inside the hell, millions of hell spirits roared collectively, bursting with astonishing power. The bone hell did not collapse under the ray's sweep. In terms of pure defense, the bone hell's defense was comparable to the 7th level of a God Venerable. At the moment the ray swept past, the bone hell completed its mark, marking the white star.
Getting closer, the power has increased, but it's still within the range of the 7th level of a God Venerable.
Lin Moyu felt reassured. The increase in the ray's power was not significant. He took another step, advancing another 30 million kilometers. The closer he got, the denser the rays became, and the higher the possibility of being attacked. Lin Moyu stopped again to see how strong the rays were at this distance. Being cautious is never wrong. Safety first in everything. The skeleton generals were still searching, but there was no news for the time being. This world was not small, and he didn't know where those people had gone. There was no use in being anxious. As long as they were not dead, they could be found. Even if they were dead, there would be clues. Another ray swept over, causing the bone hell to violently shake and twist. After the ray passed, the bone hell also collapsed.
The power has reached the 8th level of a God Venerable, an increase of 1 level.
Lin Moyu roughly judged and took another step towards the white star, appearing just over 100 million kilometers away from it. Another ray swept over, and Lin Moyu's body glowed with golden light as he donned a golden armor. The golden armor talisman easily blocked the attack without moving an inch.
It's still at the 8th level of a God Venerable, not reaching the 9th level, but very close. If I'm not mistaken, within 100 million kilometers, the ray's power will reach the 9th level of a God Venerable. Continuing to get closer should reach the peak of a God Venerable, or even a half step beyond.
Lin Moyu made a judgment in his mind while simulating whether he could enter the white star. After repeated calculations, he felt there was no problem. As long as the attack didn't reach the beyond level and wasn't continuous, he could enter, at worst, using his rebirth ability once.
I wonder what the inside of the white star is like. Hopefully, there's no beyond level being inside. That would be troublesome.
Lin Moyu had a strong curiosity but also felt a sense of
curiosity killed the cat.
Just as he was about to continue approaching, he suddenly stopped and quickly began to retreat. The skeleton generals had made a discovery. In a few steps, he crossed tens of millions of kilometers and appeared beside a skeleton general. In front of the skeleton general, a corpse floated quietly. It was a human corpse, completely charred, making it impossible to see its appearance. However, it seemed to be a man. Lin Moyu breathed a sigh of relief.
Brother, sorry, I can't let you rest in peace.
To find out what had happened, Lin Moyu could only use the resurrection of the dead. The undying flame landed on the corpse, and the body quickly regenerated in the flames. The charred parts rapidly healed, the flesh regenerated, and the soul reformed in the flames. It was a handsome young man with the cultivation of an 8th-level god king, neither too strong nor too weak. Lin Moyu judged that he should be a native cultivator of the divine city, not from the 4 major star regions. The young man was about to kneel before Lin Moyu, but Lin Moyu stopped him.
What's your name?
Lin Moyu asked.
My name is Feng Qingchuan.
The young man replied. As a resurrected being, he would not disobey Lin Moyu's orders. Unless Lin Moyu resurrected someone a major realm higher than himself, the resurrected would always obey. Lin Moyu asked,
Tell me what happened here. How did you die?
Feng Qingchuan immediately answered,
I came here through the spatial rift.
2034. Chapter 2034. Can't find them? Then let's rely on luck. Feng Qingchuan had just left the secret realm when he was swept in. In terms of time, he arrived several hours later than Qingfei. After arriving here, he saw a few people but did not see Shui Zhilan or Qingfei. They explored the starry sky, hoping to find a way back. Gradually, everyone began to disperse. Feng Qingchuan and 2 other 8th-level god kings formed a small team and acted together. But halfway through their flight, a ray suddenly swept over, killing one of them instantly, leaving no remains. This ray came from a distant white star. Although it was tens of millions of kilometers away, their cultivation was too weak to withstand it. Moreover, the ray's speed was the same as the speed of light. If they only relied on their eyes, they would be hit by the time they saw it. They could only rely on their senses to dodge, hoping to avoid it. However, with their souls, it was impossible to sense it. One person was killed silently, with no remains left in the ray's sweep, which scared Feng Qingchuan. He and the surviving person moved away from the white star, the farther, the better. But when they approached another star, it suddenly erupted with terrifying flames. The flames burst out like a volcanic eruption, extending millions of kilometers, threatening to engulf them. Feng Qingchuan had a life-saving treasure. Using this treasure, he luckily escaped, but his companion was not so fortunate and was directly engulfed by the flames, his fate unknown. Although he said his companion's fate was unknown, Feng Qingchuan knew in his heart that his companion was likely dead. When his companion was swept away, he heard his screams. He was terrified at the time and fled quickly. He didn't save his companion, and he regretted it afterward, but he also knew he couldn't have saved him. Afterward, he began to stay away from the stars. But staying away from the stars didn't mean there was no danger. He encountered a star beast. Although it was called a star beast, it was actually very small. It looked only about a meter in size. When it curled up, it was pitch black and almost undetectable. Feng Qingchuan only discovered it when he bumped into it. According to Feng Qingchuan's description, the star beast unfolded its body, ignited in flames, and then spat a mouthful of fire at him. Feng Qingchuan was burned to death, unable to resist. Lin Moyu judged that this star beast had at least the strength of a small god venerable. Although Feng Qingchuan was not very powerful, he was still an 8th-level god king and not easily killed. He died a quick death without much pain. From his description, Lin Moyu roughly understood the true cause of death. On the surface, Feng Qingchuan was burned to death. In fact, the fire truly burned his soul. Once the soul died naturally, there was no pain. Feng Qingchuan recounted his experiences here, which didn't help much, but Lin Moyu gleaned some information. When they came in, there were quite a few people, about 100. At first, everyone was together, but later they split up. According to his description, they split into 8 directions. The first ones to come in also left in these 8 directions. Lin Moyu immediately dispatched 80,000 skeleton generals to search in these 8 directions, hoping to find some clues.
Hope nothing goes wrong.
Lin Moyu muttered softly, feeling that this matter seemed a bit troublesome. This unfamiliar starry sky was not as simple as it seemed. Lin Moyu activated the Eye of the Soul and began to carefully examine the surroundings. The undead vision seemed to have lost its effectiveness. So much time had passed, and there were no discoveries. He hadn't seen any star beasts either, which was very unusual. If the number of star beasts was extremely low, Why was Feng Qingchuan so unlucky to bump into one? Lin Moyu felt that there shouldn't be so few star beasts, but the eye of the undead couldn't see them. The eye of the undead was not omnipotent. There had been times when it failed. Under the eye of the soul, lines of laws appeared. The lines of laws were straightforward, forming a dense web interwoven in the starry sky. The eye of the soul scanned, but still found nothing. Whether it was the stars or the starry sky, everything seemed normal. For a moment, Lin Moyu was at a loss, not knowing what to do. The longer the delay, the higher the probability of Shui Jilan and Qing Fei encountering danger. This world was unimaginably large. Until now, the skeleton generals hadn't reached the end. Moreover, his skeleton generals were becoming more and more dispersed. By now, he had sent out tens of millions of skeleton generals, scattered like fish in the sea.
No choice. This is the only way.
Lin Moyu closed his eyes, and a strange aura rose from his body. Invisible mist rose above his head, with dragon roars emanating from it. Luck Transformation Dragon.
Explosive luck technique.
His luck instantly broke through the limit, reaching an astonishing level. Then Lin Moyu thought of Shui Jilan and Qing Fei, spun rapidly, and disappeared halfway through the spin. He truly chose a direction at random, relying entirely on luck. If he was lucky, he could find them in the shortest time. If he was unlucky, he wouldn't lose anything anyway. Lin Moyu's speed was astonishing. Although Shui Jilan and Qing Fei had entered earlier, they were slower. Lin Moyu believed he could catch up soon. Alternating between the eye of the soul and the undead vision, Lin Moyu didn't miss any details, searching the starry sky. After each teleportation, he released 1,000,000 skeleton generals, spreading them in all directions. In the blink of an eye, Lin Moyu had crossed 1,000,000,000 kilometers. In his sight, a giant star appeared, looking somewhat dim, like an old man nearing the end of his life. Lin Moyu didn't continue. He had calculated that even if Shui Jilan and Qing Fei were faster, they wouldn't have gone further. In the direction he chose, there was only this star. Either he chose the wrong direction, or Shui Jilan and Qing Fei were here. Neither the eye of the soul nor the undead vision found anything unusual. But Lin Moyu's intuition told him that this star had a problem. Intuition. Sometimes you have to trust your intuition, especially when everything is unsolvable and there are no clues. You can only trust your intuition. Especially now, with the explosive luck technique activated, when his luck was at its peak, intuition might be the most reliable. In the next second, Lin Moyu rushed towards the dim star. When he was only 1,000,000 kilometers away from the star, it suddenly erupted, spewing flames. The flames surged like lightning, rushing towards Lin Moyu at nearly the speed of light. Lin Moyu didn't dodge, crashing into the flames head-on. The purple gold body flashed, blocking all the flames.
The power isn't great, between a small god venerable and a god venerable. If that's the case, Shui Jilan and Qing Fei should be able to withstand it.
Following the flames, Lin Moyu crashed into the star, creating a large crater. He charged through the flames, ignoring the pure high temperature. The law power within the flames was greatly weakened by his passive spell, unable to shake the purple gold body. Lin Moyu seemed to break through a barrier, entering another space. 2035. Chapter 2035. Then let's rely on luck to find people. The aura of battle spread, and it was the familiar water-based laws. Lin Moyu sensed the familiar aura. Shui Jilan and Qing Fei were both present. Moreover, their auras were strong, indicating they were not in any serious trouble. He couldn't help but breathe a sigh of relief.
It's good that they're here.
As long as they were still around, his arrival would ensure their safety. Lin Moyu flew forward and soon saw them. Shui Jilan and Qing Fei were under siege by a group of half-meter-sized black monsters. The monsters looked like leopards, with red spots on their bodies, and they spewed flames from their mouths. Whenever they spewed flames, the red spots on their bodies would glow.
So these are the star beasts Feng Qingchuan mentioned. They're indeed small, not deserving of the name star beasts.
Although Shui Zhilan and Qing Fei were under siege and at a disadvantage, both were injured. Fortunately, they could still hold on. Especially Qing Fei, whose sharp sword transformed into a green dragon, slashing through the flames and sending the attacking star beasts flying. The star beasts were not large, with attack power comparable to a small god venerable, but their defense was strong, making it difficult for Qing Fei to injure them. Even when she occasionally managed to wound them, the injuries would quickly heal. Lin Moyu flew over and said with a smile,
Junior sisters, it's been years, and you both still look as impressive as ever.
Hearing Lin Moyu's voice, Shui Zhilan's gentle face lit up with joy.
Senior brother Lin is here.
Seeing Lin Moyu, Shui Zhilan knew they were safe. Previously, they had to call him Junior Brother Lin, but now they had to change it to Senior Brother Lin. After all, Lin Moyu's realm had far surpassed theirs. Lin Moyu was already a god venerable, while they were still small god venerables. Lin Moyu asked,
Junior sister Qing Fei, do you need me to help deal with these creatures?
Since he had found them, Lin Moyu was not in a hurry and even had the leisure to joke with them. Moreover, given Qing Fei's personality, if he directly intervened, it might upset her. Unexpectedly, Qing Fei directly said,
Thank you, Senior Brother Lin.
Lin Moyu smiled slightly, and several skeleton generals flew out, wielding bone swords. The white sword light flashed, and the flame-spewing star beasts were annihilated in the sword light, leaving no remains. Qing Fei watched this scene and sighed softly.
You've become even stronger.
Lin Moyu replied,
Junior sister Qing Fei flatters me. I just took a step ahead. You will easily achieve this in the future.
Qing Fei's eyes were filled with determination.
Naturally.
She had full confidence in herself. Shui Zhilan cheered.
That's great.
She was genuinely happy and excitedly put away her puppets. All 3 puppets were damaged to varying degrees and would need proper repairs when they returned. It was clear that Shui Zhilan was very distressed. The skeleton generals quickly eliminated the star beasts. The sword energy not only killed the star beasts but also riddled the star with holes. The intense sword energy pierced through the star, creating countless craters. The star began to twist, seemingly on the verge of exploding. A terrifying aura rose from the star, and it howled in agony. It was about to self-destruct, intending to kill the enemies within it. The death of the star beasts had made it feel anger and sorrow. Qing Fei's face changed.
This is bad.
Lin Moyu remained calm, taking out 3 golden armor talismans and activating them, placing them on the 3 of them.
Don't worry, it won't harm you.
Boom! The star self-destructed, and the terrifying force swept through the starry sky. Golden light flowed over the 3 of them, keeping them safe amidst the explosion. The power of the star's self-destruction was at most equivalent to a second-level god venerable's attack. With the golden armor talismans, they wouldn't be harmed. The star's self-destruction turned it into a burning fireball in the starry sky. The 3 of them, clad in golden armor, flew out of the flames. Lin Moyu looked at the fireball, which had weakened compared to the pre-explosion star but not by much. Moreover, the flames were clearly evolving, seemingly on the verge of transforming back into a star. This was completely different from a normal star explosion and defied common sense. The star is not extinguished, and the starfire endures. Lin Moyu thought of this phrase and softly said,
Could this be the Starfire race?
Shui Zhilan heard Lin Moyu's muttering and curiously asked,
What is the Starfire race?
In the various races of the Great World, there was no mention of the Starfire race. Lin Moyu was about to explain when his expression suddenly changed. The skeleton generals scattered everywhere sent back information that the stars were showing abnormal activity. Lin Moyu immediately connected to the skeleton general's vision and saw countless stars violently erupting with flames. Amidst the flames, soul fires lit up. Countless star beasts, shaped like leopards and covered in flaming spots, flew out of the stars. Their sizes varied, with the smallest being less than a meter and the largest about 10 meters. The size of their bodies also indicated their strength. The larger they were, the stronger they were. The weakest were small god venerables. The strongest had reached the peak of god venerable. Lin Moyu realized that the size was proportional to their level. The 1-meter-sized beast Feng Qingchuan encountered was a first-level god venerable. More and more stars showed abnormal activity, and more star beasts flew out. It was like a virus spreading throughout the starry sky. These star beasts moved at astonishing speeds, not flying but traversing through flames. They could move from one flame to another. Even if the distance between the two was millions of kilometers, they could traverse it in an instant. The whole process was like Lin Moyu's teleportation. Lin Moyu understood what was happening. It was his killing of those star beasts that triggered a chain reaction.
The number is a bit scary.
Lin Moyu sighed softly. Shui Zhilan was puzzled.
Senior brother Lin, what's happening?
Qing Fei frowned.
I have a bad feeling, like something is about to happen.
Lin Moyu said.
Indeed, something has happened. I've stirred up a hornet's nest.
Shui Zhilan asked curiously.
What's a hornet's nest?
Qing Fei also didn't understand, looking at Lin Moyu with a puzzled expression. Lin Moyu laughed heartily but didn't explain further. Could only be said that in their world, there were no such things as hornets. Lin Moyu softly said.
More people, right? Well, the bone hell hasn't had a meal in a long time. If this is the Starfire race, then I'll exterminate you once more.
In the starry sky, all the skeleton generals collectively disappeared. Immediately, countless skeleton generals appeared in front of Lin Moyu. The skeleton generals densely occupied the starry sky, countless in number. Shui Zhilan and Qing Fei were completely stunned. They knew Lin Moyu could summon many skeletons but didn't expect there to be this many. The skeletons before them numbered in the millions, even tens of millions, beyond their ability to count. Moreover, the strength of these skeletons made them shudder. It felt like any one of them could kill them as easily as killing a chicken. Qing Fei forced herself to remain calm.
Senior brother Lin, what level are your skeletons?
Lin Moyu casually replied.
These are just 6th level god venerables.
What did he mean by
just?
Qing Fei felt her fragile heart take a hit. Just 6th level god venerables. From Lin Moyu's words, it seemed he had even stronger summons. Qing Fei thought of the 10,000-meter-tall skeleton Lin Moyu had once summoned, which might be his trump card. Shui Zhilan excitedly asked.
Senior brother Lin, can we see your stronger summons? Sure.
Lin Moyu didn't refuse. With a wave of his hand, legions exuding terrifying auras appeared in the starry sky. 2036. Chapter 2036. That depends on my mood. The Death Dragon Knight Legion, with 100,000 as one legion, is led by a legion ruler. Their bodies are even larger than the skeleton generals, exuding a powerful and terrifying aura. The lower half of the skeletal dragon is shrouded in undead flames, while the upper half of the knight holds a sword and shield, with gray undead flames flowing like light on their bodies and swords. Threads of rule power emanate, forming an invisible pressure that immobilizes Shui Zhilan and Qing Fei. They had never seen rule power before, but they had seen high-level divine venerates. Qing Fei swallowed hard.
They are all high-level divine venerates.
Lin Moyu smiled slightly and did not deny it. Shui Zhilan was equally shocked but also puzzled.
I seem to have seen them somewhere before.
Suddenly she exclaimed.
I remember, a few years ago when we were investigating the Devouring Spirit clan, it was following a divine venerate. So it is brother Lin's summoned creature.
At this moment, Lin Moyu summoned 100 Death Dragon Knight legions, totaling 10 million Dragon Knights, plus 100 legion rulers. The skeleton generals summoned 100 million. Except for the skeleton king, the entire undead legion had already deployed 1/5. It wasn't that Lin Moyu looked down on those Starfire clan members, but he felt that this was enough. The skeleton generals were infinitely close to Divine Venerate level 7, the Death Dragon Knights were True Divine Venerate level 7, and the Legion Rulers were Divine Venerate level 8. With tens of millions of combat power, Even peak divine venerates would flee in panic. If the other side saw it, they would probably retreat 3 times, and it would be very difficult to kill them all. The suspected Starfire clan's Starry Sky giant cover came through the flames, sweeping from all directions, surrounding Lin Moyu and others. But what greeted them was the extremely sharp attack of the Undead Legion. The white sword light illuminated the starry sky, becoming another color in the starry sky. Undead flames left marks of death in the starry sky. The river of undead laws appeared under Lin Moyu's feet, transforming all laws into the power of death. Every attack of the Undead Legion was filled with the power of undead laws. Countless Starfire clan members were swallowed by the sword light and annihilated. Lin Moyu pointed his finger, and the skeletal hell appeared out of thin air, spreading to its maximum range, covering a large area of the star field. The hellish spirits roared out, biting the Starfire clan members. The hellish spirits hadn't had a meal for a long time, and now they were extremely ferocious. The Death Dragon Knight Legion was the most leisurely. They didn't even need to make a move. Just the skeleton generals blocked the first wave of the Starry Sky Beast's impact. Shui Zhilan and Qing Fei were dumbfounded. They had imagined the battle would be intense, but they had never thought it would be so one-sided. This was simply a massacre. The strength of the skeleton generals was completely beyond imagination. Lin Moyu laughed.
Isn't it different from the battle you imagined?
Qing Fei nodded.
The elders in my family once said that on the battlefield, the strong suppress all beings, and the true strong are the key to victory. But
Lin Moyu continued her words.
Your elders are right. The true strong can indeed suppress all beings, but not here. When the strength is not truly widened, the number will determine the victory.
In terms of numbers, Lin Moyu said he had never been afraid. These suspected Starfire clan members were indeed numerous, and ordinary divine venerates would only have one way to escape. But facing Lin Moyu, they had no advantage. Section 2323/2369-2324. The Starry Sky Beasts couldn't get through at all. Just the skeletal hell alone became a natural moat. Batch after batch of Starry Sky Beasts died, and finally stronger Starry Sky Beasts arrived. The Starry Sky Beasts, with a body size of 7 meters and strength reaching Divine Venerate level 7, arrived. The skeletal hell finally felt a bit of pressure, but it was just a bit. The Starry Sky Beasts were indeed strong, but the hellish spirits were also Divine Venerate level 7, and their strength was evenly matched. But there were tens of millions of hellish spirits, and the Starry Sky Beasts at Divine Venerate level 7 were not that many. Not to mention tens of millions, even if they were added together, they wouldn't reach 100,000. Lin Moyu watched and thought to himself,
If these are really the Starfire clan, they were indeed very strong in the past. Not to mention the strongest, just the number of high-level divine venerates is not weaker than any strong clan.
Then stronger Starry Sky Beasts arrived, still in large numbers. Divine Venerate level 8 exceeded 10,000, and there were thousands of level 9. Facing the high-level Divine Venerate Starry Sky Beasts, the attacks of the skeleton generals gradually became powerless, unable to easily kill the opponents as before. The difference between Divine Venerate level 6 and level 7 was significant due to the appearance of rule power. After that, each level increase would bring a significant boost in combat power. The skeletal hell also gradually became overwhelmed when facing numerous Divine Venerate level 8 Starry Sky Beasts. Lin Moyu snapped his fingers, and the Death Dragon Knight Legion immediately charged out. Their addition relieved the pressure on the skeletal hell. Especially the Legion rulers joining the battle, although their numbers were not many, their combat power was significantly stronger than the Starry Sky Beasts of the same level. They wielded their battle knives, easily dealing with a Starry Sky Beast in a few moves. Lin Moyu knew that the Legion rulers had reached the peak of Divine Venerate level 8, almost invincible at the same level. And the combat power of those Starry Sky Beasts was much weaker. Dragon breath burned wildly in the starry sky. Undead flames were everywhere, filled with the power of death, corroding everything. No matter how the Starry Sky Beasts charged, they couldn't break through the Undead Legion's line, let alone harm Lin Moyu and the others. Flames erupted, and dozens of starry sky beasts with a body size of 10 meters came through the flames.
More than 50 divine venerate level 9, not bad. But it's useless.
Lin Moyu said casually, not taking these starry sky beasts seriously. He lightly pointed his finger, and undead flames exploded in the starry sky, turning into 5 blazing flames. 5 skeletal thrones appeared simultaneously, and 5 identical skeleton kings slowly rose. The skeleton kings, 10,000 meters tall, exuded a terrifying aura, distorting the starry sky around them, as if it would collapse at any moment. Qing Fei and Shui Zhilan's faces turned pale, bloodless. They were suppressed by the aura of the skeleton kings, their minds blank. This was a complete suppression of strength with no resistance. At this moment, the skeleton kings were like Zhu Qiwu in the past, true peak divine venerates. They were only one step away from the other side. However, Lin Moyu knew that even if he advanced one more level, the skeleton kings still couldn't reach the other side. The gap between divine venerates and the other side was too great, a qualitative change that couldn't be easily crossed.
Divine venerate level 9 and divine venerate level 9 are also different.
Lin Moyu said with some disdain, and the skeleton kings moved instantly. The thrones turned into giant bone swords, cloaks fluttering, raising a sky full of flames. Godslang! The 5 skeleton kings simultaneously swung their swords, each targeting 5 divine venerate level 9 starry sky beasts. The sword light exploded, illuminating the starry sky, and 25 starry sky beasts were simultaneously shattered, leaving no bones. The skeletal hell immediately followed, beginning to devour the corpses. The skeleton kings proved Lin Moyu's words with their actions. Even at the same divine venerate level 9, there was a world of difference. Qing Fei endured the discomfort.
Didn't you say you only had one of these skeleton kings?
Lin Moyu smiled.
I usually only summon one, but that doesn't mean I can only summon one.
Shui Zhilan couldn't help but ask.
How many can you summon in total?
Lin Moyu joked.
That depends on my mood.
His gaze fell into the distance, looking at those stars. From the beginning, Lin Moyu hadn't taken the starry sky beasts seriously. He felt that the real enemy should be those stars. 2037. Chapter 2037. New grudges settled, old hatred no longer matters. Although there were only 5 skeleton kings, their combat power completely overwhelmed the opposition. With one sword strike, they eliminated half of their opponents, then charged into the fray like tigers among sheep. Nothing could withstand their bone swords. Each sword strike from the skeleton kings contained immense power of rules, causing cracks to appear in space with every slash. In the blink of an eye, the entire starry sky was cleared. Countless corpses of cosmic beasts floated scattered about, but the hell fiends from the bone hell were devouring them at full force. Before long, not even the corpses would remain. Lin Moyu gazed at the densely packed stars.
Will there be any other movements?
Seconds ticked by, but there was no activity. The stars that were previously spewing flames in anger had now quieted down. The entire starry sky fell into silence, while an atmosphere of sorrow began to spread. The stars seemed to be grieving for the death of those cosmic beasts, yet they dared not express anger. They sensed Lin Moyu's terrifying power. Lin Moyu spoke with a hint of disdain, his voice echoing through space.
All bark and no bite. Is this all you're capable of?
Qing Fei and Shui Zhilan were somewhat confused, not understanding who Lin Moyu was talking to. In their eyes, the starry sky was empty, but they didn't speak up. The two were clever enough to know there were things beyond their comprehension. Lin Moyu waited another half-minute before coldly laughing.
Since you won't make a move, I won't be polite.
The skeleton generals suddenly flew out, heading towards the nearest stars. Lin Moyu's thinking was simple. If any of the people who entered were still alive, they should be inside the stars. Otherwise, he wouldn't be unable to find even one of them. If they were outside, even if dead, they should at least leave behind corpses like Feng Qingchuan. When the skeleton generals were still 10,000 kilometers from the stars finally moved. They whipped up a sea of flames, engulfing the skeleton generals. Clad in golden armor, the skeleton generals recklessly charged into the flames. The attacking power of the flames was not strong enough to harm the skeleton generals protected by their golden armor. The skeleton generals sped through the flames and, just like Lin Moyu before, suddenly broke through a barrier and entered the interior of the stars.
Found them.
Lin Moyu said softly. Through the vision of the skeleton generals, he saw the situation inside the stars. There were no flames there. 3 people lay inside. 2 of them were already dead, their bodies incomplete. The other was severely injured and unconscious, with only 1 arm and 1 leg remaining, the body incomplete. Though not dead, only a breath of life remained. The soul fire was extremely weak, its soul as incomplete as the physical body. Even if saved, they would be crippled, possibly never waking up. Several more skeleton generals charged into the inner space of the stars, seeing similar scenes. Most people were dead, with only a few still alive. Even those alive were half-crippled. Among them, Lin Moyu recognized several from the War God Temple who had participated in the annihilation of the Buddhist faction. They could be considered comrades in arms. Lin Moyu's expression became serious, his gaze increasingly cold, murderous intent spreading freely through space.
Seeking death.
Lin Moyu's killing intent erupted. With a thought, the skeleton generals immediately carried these people out of the stars. Sword energy cleared the way, forcibly carving out a passage from within the stars. The undead army moved swiftly at the same time, attacking the myriad stars. The stars seemed to sense Lin Moyu's killing intent and began to boil violently once again. They rotated rapidly, flames surging skyward, transforming themselves into giant, swiftly rotating fireballs. Flames scattered everywhere, instantly turning space into a sea of fire. The skeleton generals who were originally breaking out were hindered. The stellar flames rose sharply, containing immense power of laws, constantly impacting the skeleton generals. The golden armor talismans glowed brightly. Though surrounded by the sea of fire, the skeleton generals remained unharmed. They swung their swords, slashing out waves of sword energy, carving a path through the sea of fire. The army of death dragon knights arrived, spewing dragon breath. The power of death corroded the flames. All things have their strengths and weaknesses. The power of death corroded the laws within the flames, greatly reducing their power. Lin Moyu remarked that compared to the stellar flames in the Xuanqing secret realm, these flames were child's play. The skeleton generals attacked from the outside, raining down countless attacks on the stars. The stars retaliated with flames, but against the skeleton generals protected by golden armor talismans, the flames posed no threat. Behind the skeleton generals came the Death Dragon Knights. They charged into the stars, ignoring the flames. The giant dragons bit and tore while the knights swung their swords. The stars immediately suffered massive damage, quickly becoming distorted and chaotic. Lin Moyu and his 2 companions arrived. Lin Moyu pointed, and the bone hell appeared. The bone hell instantly swallowed a star. Millions of hell spirits, ignoring the stellar flames, began to tear the star to pieces. Lin Moyu pointed his finger towards the distance. White star level spell. Time curse. A red light flashed by, and in an instant several stars began to violently shake. They suffered curse damage and were in great pain. Faint screams could be heard in space.
So you have souls too.
These stars not only had consciousness but also souls. A thought crossed Lin Moyu's mind. The undying flame ignited once more, and an eye millions of meters large appeared in space. The eye gazed mercilessly at space, causing all the stars to tremble. The eye of the undead brought indiscriminate soul attacks, making the stars extremely uncomfortable. Lin Moyu's killing intent had been roused. He didn't care whether these beings were the Starfire clan or not. He only knew that they had killed humans and they should pay the price. Dying here was the best outcome for them. The 5 skeleton kings each sought out stars. Under the god-slaying sword, star after star was extinguished. Some stars began to self-destruct, taking the human cultivators inside with them. Some stars couldn't self-destruct in time and were directly extinguished, giving the cultivators inside a slim chance of survival. The skeleton generals continuously charged in recklessly, relying on the protection of their golden armor talismans to bring out the humans one by one. They sought the living and the dead alike. Most of the human cultivators brought out were corpses, their bodies already incomplete, only small pieces remaining. Even the occasional survivors were barely clinging to life. Lin Moyu waved out bursts of life force to heal them. As for whether they could be saved, Lin Moyu wasn't very confident. Some people's injuries were too severe, their souls seriously damaged. It would be a miracle if they could survive. Damn it, Lin Moyu even had a momentary cruel thought. If they couldn't be saved, it might be better if they had died. Living half-dead like this, bedridden for the rest of their lives, was no different from being dead. But he only thought about it. No matter what happened in ancient times, now new grudges had been established. If there were old hatreds, they would be settled together. If not, it no longer mattered. Star after star was extinguished, with dazzling fireworks constantly exploding in space. After the stars died, they turned back into balls of flame, continuously burning in space. The flames had no roots or origin, but they just kept burning. No matter how the skeleton generals attacked, they couldn't completely destroy them.
The stars are inextinguishable, the starfire eternal.
Lin Moyu murmured softly. Now he was 80% certain that these stars were indeed the Starfire clan. As a star exploded, Lin Moyu's gaze was drawn to it. From the explosion, a death dragon knight flew out of the flames carrying a stone tablet. 2038. Chapter 2038. It really is the Starfire clan. Stone tablet. The rune material from ancient times is incredibly sturdy and difficult to destroy. Lin Moyu had seen similar materials many times and even possessed a piece himself. The simplest rune materials, like bricks, could be destroyed by those who reached the other shore realm. However, powerful rune materials like the stone tablet before him were extremely strong. Even a saint sovereign would find it hard to destroy them. These rune materials were widely used in ancient times for building houses, making fortresses, and recording texts. The stone tablet's material is special, immune to the erosion of time, and can be preserved for a long time.
There are stone tablets in both the Tulu realm and the Soul Spirit realm. This place is no exception.
The Death Dragon Knight brought back the stone tablet, and Lin Moyu began to examine the information recorded on it. Shui Jilan and Qing Fei also checked it out, but they both looked puzzled. The text on the stone tablet was something they had never seen before. The ancient primordial script was different from the current text, and they did not recognize it. Lin Moyu naturally knew this and casually said,
"This is the ancient primordial script. It's normal that you can't understand it. Once you reach a certain realm, you will naturally understand."
As long as they could reach the peak of the God-Sovereign realm and show enough talent to be judged by the Human Emperor Network as having the potential to step into the other shore, the Human Emperor Network would then impart the information of the ancient primordial script to them. Currently, Saint Sovereigns, those in the other shore realm, and some peak God Sovereigns could understand the ancient primordial script. Listening to Lin Moyu's explanation, Shui Jilan and Qing Fei both nodded, indicating they understood. They were well aware of the world's operating rules. One should know things corresponding to their realm. If one's realm was not high enough, knowing too much could bring about fatal consequences. The stone tablet indeed recorded matters related to this world.
Black blood invasion, various clans' rebellion. I was ordered to eradicate the Starfire clan, driving them to collapse and extinction. However, as long as stars exist in the great world, the Starfire clan will be difficult to eradicate. The Master bestowed a seal, sealing the Starfire realm. At the same time, the Master cast a curse, cursing the Starfire clan to be mute and lack wisdom forever. The illusory Mist Heavenly Sovereign further stripped the Starfire clan of their fortune, making it difficult for them to recover for 1,000,000 years. The Destiny Heavenly Sovereign once saw descendants entering this realm from the River of Destiny and left information about the Starfire clan on this tablet for future generations.
After reading the stone tablet, Lin Moyu pondered.
The Starfire realm, as I guessed, is indeed the world of the Starfire clan.
Section 2325/2369. He split a wisp of his soul into the stone tablet, and information flowed over. The information was not much, just explaining some characteristics of the Starfire clan and how to deal with them. The Starfire clan's appearance is that of stars. They are called Starfire because their essence is the will born from stars. At their peak, the Starfire clan had hundreds of billions of members. In their world, there are stars and planets. Planets can ascend to become stars, and stars can develop consciousness, becoming true members of the Starfire clan. Stars can further ascend, transforming into white stars. The white star Lin Moyu saw was one such example. The strongest white stars have combat power equivalent to a supreme. The strongest stars can rival Saint Sovereigns. Although they all appear as stars, their combat power ranges from God Sovereign to Saint Sovereign, with immense differences between them. In ancient times, the Starfire clan was nearly exterminated, but they survived due to their racial characteristics. Over 2 million years, the Starfire clan gradually recovered here, with a large number of members reappearing, and even a white star being born. The human experts of the past had foresight, glimpsing this scene from the River of Destiny. The mysterious master cast a curse and planted a seal. The Starfire clan's wisdom became extremely weak, and the white star was far inferior to those of ancient times. Lin Moyu also understood that the so-called cosmic beasts were actually the Starfire clan's companions, known as Starfire worms. Each member of the Starfire clan could have many Starfire worms as companions. The stronger they were, the more Starfire worms they had, and the stronger their combat power. At their peak, the Starfire clan had hundreds of billions of members, and the number of Starfire worms was countless. With the help of the Starfire worms, the Starfire clan once caused great trouble for the human race.
It's not just new grudges, but also old hatreds. The Starfire clan was sealed, and now they have reappeared due to the space rift. It seems the great world is becoming increasingly unstable. The illusory Mist Heavenly Sovereign and the Saint Rune Heavenly Sovereign used residual souls to make some compensations, but it seems the effect is not significant.
Lin Moyu thought a lot in an instant, realizing that the great world faced significant problems. The Starfire clan might not be the only one. Other worlds might also appear. Lin Moyu did not know how many worlds the great world had plundered in the past. However, just the beast skins he had obtained numbered no less than 300. There might be more unrecorded ones, only more, not less. Those worlds might also be sealed like the Starfire realm, and with the instability of the great world, they might emerge one day. If a world with supreme-level experts appeared, the entire great world might be thrown into chaos. Lin Moyu felt a headache, increasingly finding it troublesome. At this moment, Qing Fei's voice came.
Brother Lin, wake up!
Lin Moyu came back to his senses and saw a large number of stars gathering in the distance, rushing towards him. Under the curse, the Starfire clan's wisdom was not strong. They acted more on instinct. Besides that, they probably had a strong hatred for the human race. So, when humans entered, they showed no mercy and instinctively attacked. With grudges on both sides, they had to settle the score. Lin Moyu's will moved, and the undead army quickly assembled to confront the enemy. The Skeleton Kings charged at the forefront, followed by the Death Dragon Knights with the Skeleton Generals at the rear. The undead army formed an impressive group, charging towards the Starfire clan. The Starfire clan gathered together, connected by flames, forming a massive web of fire, unleashing tremendous power, and charging towards the undead army. No words were needed. Both sides had new and old grudges. They fought for victory and life. The undead army's golden armor talismans shone brightly, forming a huge light group, resisting the flames. Sword light swept across the starry sky, and dragon breath burned fiercely in space. Stars exploded on the spot, shaking the heavens and earth. The starry sky trembled, laws collapsed, and the golden armor talismans continuously shattered in the flames, with the undead army suffering fierce attacks. Qing Fei was a bit worried.
Brother Lin, what about the people who came in with us?
Lin Moyu had rescued dozens of people earlier. However, most of them were dead, with only a dozen or so still alive, all injured. As for the others, Lin Moyu sighed.
They should all be dead.
So much time had passed, and if they were God sovereigns, they might have held on until now. But those who came in were mostly God kings, unable to hold on. Qing Fei and Shui Zhilan were lucky. The star that swallowed them was not strong, and the starfire worms were weak. Otherwise, they wouldn't have lasted until Lin Moyu came to rescue them. Hearing Lin Moyu's answer, Qing Fei and Shui Zhilan sighed helplessly. It was an unavoidable situation. Accidents in cultivation always came unexpectedly. The battle continued, and the Starfire clan, united, unleashed great power. The undead army finally suffered casualties, but under the effect of undead magic, they quickly revived and rejoined the battle. In the distance, the white star suddenly flew towards the battlefield, its rays sweeping across like a sword of destruction, sweeping the battlefield. 2039.